What is going on, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? My name is Eric. Welcome to Q2C VR Gamer Live. We are a weekly VR podcast that airs live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where we broadcast simultaneously to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and yes, you can watch us in glorious VR in the multiverse. How are we doing tonight, multiverse? Glad to see you guys over there. You remember, if you cannot catch us live, you can always catch us afterwards on your favorite podcast platform. But if you don't catch us live, Todd, you cannot be here to win any of the amazing stuff that we have to give away tonight. And we do have some killer stuff to give away. But before we get into any of that, I need to say hello to my partner from the great Canadian Northwest, the man who is heading from Canada all the way to Arizona just to hang out with Alex and Skiva. He definitely thinks he's better than me. Todd Jackson, what is going on, Todd? How are you doing tonight, man?
Diddly ho diddly. I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait. I leave on Sunday, and I am going to see my buds from Between Realities. It's going to be awesome.
Dude, what do you think? You're better than me? You think I can't go to Arizona? I could go to Arizona just as easy as you could.
I could do it in a heartbeat.
But you're not.
I'm not gonna know. It's hot in Arizona, bro. I've been there. I was there, man. I was there in August or whatever it was, July or August. I was there. It was 150 degrees.
Oh my God! Really?
I melted. I hope
it's not that hot. It's October. It better not be that hot.
Actually, I was talking to Skiva today. He said it was just getting down there to the perfect weather in Phoenix where they are. So yeah, it's gonna be good weather.
Yeah.
How was your week, man? How are you doing? You're a little frazzled today.
I am having a hell of a week, a work week. VR week's been great. My regular work job has been a little stressful, so I had a bunch of things go off the rails today. So
bad things going on at McDonald's or what?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the McNugget fryers have all gone offline. And...
Well, maybe you got to get that stuff working, man. You got to get that stuff working. Oh man,
I don't know. Lots of good content coming though. We got a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've had time to still pump out some content, and guess what? Mash Daddy Cool's back. I got some content out there myself, bro.
I know. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, man. I'm finally getting back into the swing. I'm not making any good stuff yet, but I'll get there. It takes me a little bit to get back into it. You know what I mean? It takes me a little bit.
It's been a while. I think you're like 18 videos behind or something.
I know. I did the Conquest headphones the other day, and I'm loving these things, man. We'll talk about them maybe a little later because damn, they're expensive, but man, they're really, really good. They're probably the best headphones that I've seen. Like by far the best. You know, like I was like shocked
like
at how
audio
good
quality wise. They're
but at $199, Todd, that's the problem. That's the problem. But I'll tell you guys later if I think it's worth it. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. So guys, we have an amazing show tonight. We have Jason Parks from Rotu Entertainment here. We're going to talk a lot of stuff, man. We're definitely going to be talking Ionia and Eolia. We're going to talk a little bit about Rotu and their path and what type of development company they are. And I can tell you from experience, they are extremely interesting. They're probably one of the most interesting development studios that I've ever dealt with or had the pleasure to deal with. So I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We had a great talk when we were at PAX in Seattle, and I've been looking forward to this ever since. So it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we apologize we couldn't get it out last week, but it's going to work out way better this week because I'm back in my home studio. It's going to be way better. So it's going to be a really good interview. We're going to talk to Jason. We're going to talk some big headlines too, guys, because we had some big news this week that we're going to hit on later too. We're going to talk Airbridge. We're going to talk Quest 3. We're going to talk Quest 3 and the GPU in there. We talked to Brad a little bit on Virtual Strangers the other day about the Quest 3 and about the XR2 chip that's in that one being a different XR2 chip than you're going to see in the Pico or the Quest Pro. Or the Quest 2. So that's a completely different chip that's going to be way more powerful than the current chip that we have. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little SideQuest and Google investment. 12 million bangers going to freaking SideQuest.
I do wear my SideQuest hoodie to represent today.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You should be wearing your Sidekick hoodie
I know it's hanging on the wall behind me.
Yeah,
it's hanging on the wall. Yeah.
We're going to talk HTC teasing a new headset. What is the HTC doing, dude? That's I can't even get into it yet. I can't even get into it.
Yeah,
But we'll get into it later. If
started
you
yet.
guys stick around, tell your friends. I got things to say about HTC.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Quest Store is finally getting gift cards, Todd. It's only
Yes,
about 5
finally.
years or whatever.
Yes.
Thankfully, they give us the chance now that we can actually
Jesus.
purchase a gift card to give to people for Christmas and things like that.
Yeah. Like, my God, why has that been so difficult to finish? Like,
And then
yeah.
stay tuned at the end of the show for a major announcement from
major
our own
announcement for Chinatown D.
Chinatown D has major news for everyone. Bum bum bum. All right, let's. I want to get to Jason here real quick, but before we do that, let's say hello to our chat. We got some amazing people in here. The numbers are popping up. I like to see it. We have number one, I think, first person in chat tonight, Guido7335 with a $20 super chat. Says, have a great show. Sorry, can't make it. Love you guys and this community. Dude, you rock. Thank you very much. Guido is probably one of the most giving people in this community. He's amazing.
That's amazing.
That guy has just caught the VR bug. I mean, he has recently, within the last 6 months, just discovered VR, but he is just, he went out and bought a computer and now he's in it, man. He's so deep in it. And I love seeing people that are completely jazzed about virtual reality. And he has put a stamp on this community, and he's out there, going out and getting with other people in the community and playing, getting in and playing multiplayer games and having a good time. And I love seeing that, man, because we have a great community. And when somebody comes in and recognizes all the people here that we have in our community, and and virtual strangers community and between realities community, that kind of all ties together, man, they're special people here, really.
Absolutely. We've done some mini golf with Guido.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
It was good times.
Yeah, for sure. We got Mr. Tasselhoff. He's here. He says Hendrix Toy is here. Wolveraza, Kyle Kitchings. No name, Kyle? It just says Kyle Kitchings. That is supremely boring, dude. Yeah. What is the matter? Are you okay? Are you feeling okay?
Blink twice if you're
yeah, right. Yeah, blink twice if you're not, being kidnapped. Kyle Kitchings, I said that. Polish Hammer, Mike Newton, Alakazam, Facebook Smart teaming up with Google. Facebook's teaming up with Google. I missed that. He says FB Smart teaming up with Google. Wolveraza is here. Let's see. Bluebell. How you doing, Bluebell? Traveling Man 3775. We have Lamplighter. What is up, Todd? Echo into the Future. Ryan Brannon is here. Daniel Kaz, Paul Fennessy, Felipe. 4-year-olds are harder than babies. Lieras, what is up, bro? And that's probably one of the truest statements you could probably ever have.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see who else we got. Man, a lot of people chatting in chat. I like to see it. A lot of people, enjoying each other's company. Karina Stimson is here. I think I already said Echo in the Future. Onakazi is here. Technological Glitch is here. What is up, Tech? Jason Parks is here. He says hello, everyone. Chris Oakes is here. Let's see who else. Hussein X. I am Dickel. Man, there's so many people.
Sadly,
VR
Bradley's in chat talking about HTC or the lack of. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't do HTC. Come on, I can't deal, man. They're gonna make me lose it again, guys. I'm gonna lose it. I don't want to. I want this to be a fun show with Jason. I don't want to lose my shit. AK is here. I know AK. I met AK out in PAX. She's amazing. Fourth Wall Breaker is here. No Spam in the Kitchen. Nick Thompson is here. Awesome Tatum. Brian Houghton Jr. says, hey. Let's see. Oh my God, Todd, we're loaded tonight. Kubo92, Hack the Game Cap, Sim. Sadly, it's Bradley says, hey, VR nerds. VR nerds are the coolest of the nerds. Like we're the upper echelon of the nerd category, right? We're
right.
we're the nerds that everybody goes, wow,
we're the top of the pile
like
nerds,
guys.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Technoglitch says hoodie. I don't think so. Yeah. Rendered Reality is here. What
we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah, what is up, Sean? How are you doing, man? Rendered Reality is back in action, Todd, doing shows, man. They have Tyler's Basement all the way done. They have their new studio.
I saw
so
that,
happy. Yeah. So happy to see them back and getting themselves settled. We need Render Reality in our podcast arena. Let's see who else. We got a Restream bot and EV Man versus Gas is here. Nibelheim and stopped in. And I think that's it that I can see, except we have a late virtual stranger says hello, friends. Awesome.
50 people in
Yeah,
the chat
Sean
right
says we
now,
were
including
MIA for a
those.
long time. I know, man. MIA for a while. It was tough, man. You guys had so much going on though. But you got it straight now and you guys are back. I mean, that's big. And there's so many people in the community that miss you guys. And the Saturdays don't feel right without coffee and VR. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. So let's get right to this. Jason has been sitting in the wings long enough, and he just looks like he has something to say. Todd, he just has that look on him, like I'm ready. I'm ready to say something. Jason Parks, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy we could do this. We tried to do it last week. You were such a good sport last week too, because you're like, yeah, I'm here. Let's do it. And I'm like, yeah, I was away in Miami, and it would have been like a janky interview, and I wanted to pay the proper respects to Rotu and these two amazing games, and I knew we wouldn't be able to do it that way in the story if we did it. So thank you for coming back and doing it again this week.
Absolutely, I need that background of yours, so
I know, right? I know. I've been building this thing, man. It's a work in progress, but it's getting there. It's getting there. The problem is I spent all this money on green screens, and now I don't use any of them anymore.
I know, right? I got a closet full of green screens that I don't use.
I know. Jason, again, I'm so happy you're here to do this. And we did have amazing conversations, myself and you and Todd, while we were at PAX. And, we did the demo for Eolia that completely blew us away. It was one of the best demos that we did at PAX. And there was a lot of stuff there. And this was one of the ones that completely blew me away because of a couple of things that I'll say. And I told you this there too. I was a huge fan of the potential of Ionia, but I was a huge critic of the shortcomings of Ionia too. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later in some of the things. But the difference between those two games and how it shocked me so was profound. It was amazing, and that's why I was so eager to be able to get in here and tell everybody how wrong I was about Eolia and where this game was going and how great it is. So I'm excited for tonight.
That's all I want to hear. All right, let's talk about it.
It's true. Like when we were talking after PAX, sitting in our room waiting to go to the airport, it was, all right, everybody, what's the most impactful experience that we had that we could demo at PAX? And at the top of the list on all four of us was Eolia.
Yes,
nice. It blew my mind. For what you've accomplished, it was fantastic.
Yeah, a shout out to my team for that. I can't take the credit. The whole Rotu team did a fantastic job, and we made that game in a year, by the way.
Yeah,
I know. It's so good. The backstory is so great. That's why I love it. But before we get into any of that, let's get into you. I want to talk a little bit about Jason Parks. I want to talk a little bit about you and your background. Tell us a little bit about you. How you started into gaming and how you found yourself coming to where you are now.
Oh man, well, I could dive in for this whole podcast about that.
Let's do it.
To start out, it really had to do with probably back when I was 6 years old. I can't even remember if it was 6, but I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog right before I could really barely even talk. Some of the first words ever recorded of me are me trying to describe Sonic, right? As a little kid, the little blue ball going by. And ever since then, I've been a gamer, but I was also a musician and ultimately led my, my college days and my career to Berklee College of Music, where I met an incredible team and we wrote a song where we brought 90 musicians from 90 different countries together. We wrote a song of peace. We had we had people that were citizens of countries that were at war with each other sitting at the same table, and they were writing a song together. And that song went viral, and it also sold out Symphony Hall. It's a large venue here in Boston. And we started Rotu Entertainment right out of college with this, new profound video and live performance and community we had built around international musicians. We started working with nonprofits. We started to create music videos for them. At the time, flash mobs were in, so we were making flash mobs, everything from AmeriCares to Harvard to the city of Boston and all over. And that also led us to create work with the Amazon Aid Foundation, where we backpacked and traveled to the Peruvian Amazon and filmed the illegal gold mining and deforestation happening there, and then created a documentary from that footage and that information, and a music video, which was seen at COP20 and COP21, the United Nations conferences in Lima. The company was going well. Rotu was doing great, but we had this large IP that we were building and we didn't really know how to tell it. And we called it Rhythm of the Universe. The acronym of our company is Rhythm of the Universe, Rotu.
I thought that was so cool that because we talked earlier today and you told me about this song, and I went to the YouTube channel to listen to it, to see it. And it says in the title, Rhythm of the Universe, which I thought was, and that was 2011.
Yeah. I mean, we've been riding this for a while. Rhythm of the Universe existed before we ever even knew what a VR headset was, or what even VR was. And it was like 2015. One of our associates at Rotu had received the Quest, the HTC Vive, one of the original ones to receive it. And I saw the whale go by in the blue, and I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing with the rest of my life. This is amazing. This is so crazy. As I'm sure most of us here in the chat and you guys, when you tried VR for the first time, you just sort of had that sort of switch go off, right? And you understood that this is definitely a thing. This is happening. There is no way that this won't be something that we're all utilizing in some capacity in the future. So the company found further investment, and we took our original IP, Rhythm of the Universe, and we started making VR games with that IP.
Yeah, I mean, and the story of how you came to be, and because that was one of my questions too, was Rhythm of the Universe, the whole series, Ionia, Eolia, is very musical based, right? The whole idea of it is kind of musical and instruments and music healing, right? And things like that. And that was part of your background, right? Was that always the idea, for gaming, to get music involved in it?
Yeah. So the concept, the IP that we have, it's taking musical instruments, note names, everything that encompasses music and music theory as musicians, and turning that into lands, people, ecosystems, game mechanics, storyline arc, one giant universe based around this thing we call music mythology, and all umbrellaed under, if you can say that, umbrellaed, but all under this umbrella of Rhythm of the Universe. And it really was something that shaped over those many years, over the past 10 years, where some of the characters of the games behind me here of Eolia and Ionia were on stage, performing music, right, with makeup and all sorts of costumes. And you can go online right now or visit our website and check out some of our past projects and really see these characters on stage performing in front of 30,000 people before VR ever was a thing. And so the story and this franchise is something that has been growing for the past 10 years.
Super cool. Before we get too far into it,
Oh,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, before we get too far into it, I want to backtrack a second. I just wanted to say real quick, we had a super chat from Alakazam for $20. And it says, love the show in this community. Cannot wait to pre-order the Quest Pro. Damn, Quest Pro, that's an expensive one, but yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I can't wait either. It's gonna be good.
Right?
It's gonna be good. But yeah, thank you very much, Alakazam, for the $20 super chat. Before we go any further, though, but I want to backtrack a little bit to what you said. You hiked into the Peruvian jungle to film.
Oh, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
It was so nuts.
Yeah,
I had
tell
no
me
business
just a
being
little
there.
bit. Yeah, I mean, this is not VR, but this sounds super freaking cool, man. Tell me a little bit about this.
So the Amazon Aid Foundation would take every couple of years, take a trip to go and witness and be in the Peruvian Amazon, the Brazilian Amazon, to really showcase and prove that, hey, there is a incredibly destructive force destroying what little is left of the Amazon, and would work with climate scientists and all sorts of professionals in fields that would be able to identify what's going on down there and what are the repercussions of what we're doing. And this is not just affecting the land, right? This is also pumping mercury into the sediment, because down in South America and in the Amazon, you have little flakes of gold all over the place. You don't got big old nuggets like you see in an old Western. So you have to pump mercury into the soil in the sediment after cutting away the trees, and mercury and gold combined creates methylmercury. Then they burn away the mercury and they're left with a little nugget of gold bigger than the flakes. But the problem is when they burn away that mercury, it floods all of the waterways and ultimately goes into the ecosystem, and fish are eating it. Then even people are eating it. And you have, which, as I'm sure we all know, mercury ain't great for living creatures. So
not unless you want two heads and 4 arms. Yeah,
exactly. And that isn't just the fish. It's also, unfortunately, the people that are subsisting off the fish there. So it's not just affecting the land and the fact that the whole ecosystem is being destroyed, and that I think it's like a square mile of the Amazon has more plant diversity there than all of Europe. Just forget about that, and just the fact that it's hurting people. There's no reason why it needs to be happening in this way. And there are sustainable practices that can be done so that the Amazon can keep existing, people can be safe, and ultimately profit and growth of business can still continue. So we were down there, backpacks, solar panels with little chargers, and all our cameras. And shout out to Amir Saraman, the co-founder of Rotu. He was right there with me, and we just spent that time going through and for the first half of the trip filming the beauty of it, but ultimately coming across just devastated, crazy land. And if anybody's interested, I think it's a private. You can look for it. Check out the Amazon Aid Foundation's website. It's called Mercury Uprising, is the documentary did, and Anthem for the Amazon is the music video. So if anybody's interested, check out rotu.com. It's in our past projects, or look on the Amazon Aid Foundation website.
Yeah, definitely. If we can get a link to that in the chat, Todd, that would be awesome. But
Yep.
it's just super interesting. I mean, what you're talking about here, and man, the Amazon rainforest is always abused, whether it's deforestation or doing the mining thing. I mean, this is crazy that we still have to go through this in today's day and age.
And unfortunately, when I was doing that trip, there was still a chance that we would have the ability to stop and possibly start to grow back and save the rainforest. But we're at a tipping point where many professionals feel that we're actually past the point of no return. And ultimately, we're looking at, by the end of our lifetime, an Amazon that is mostly cattle land and barren area. Extremely unfortunate, but there's still things to be done to preserve the land. And that's actually a big part of what Rotu has been doing with the majority of its projects. It's what we're doing here with Rotu, with Ionia and Eolia. We're the only VR games to have a public nonprofit partnership where we're donating 5% of every proceed, particularly Ionia to the late Steve Irwin's Wildlife Warriors.
Yeah, before we get into the games, let's touch on that a little bit, because your development company is very forward thinking. I mean, you guys are very much looking to give back as much as you're looking to to sell games. I mean, a lot of this is again Ionia with the Steve Irwin Foundation, and then we talked about Eolia, and I love the program that you put together for Eolia, because it changes what charity it benefits from this every month or quarter.
Every quarter, yes.
Quarterly,
And thanks for bringing that up. One thing we wanted to do for Eolia is allow our community, which is growing exponentially, to learn more about these nonprofits, about where they can help and why they would help and who they are and who they should support, more than just passively having their money support an organization. We want our community to learn and actually care. So we're reaching out to our audience and allowing them to vote on 4 of the top climate-directed nonprofits, NGOs, and allowing them links to learn about them, and then choose which ones we should be distributing our 5% to each quarter.
I love this idea. It
Super
keeps
cool. Yeah.
it keeps people involved with the charity too, right? So it's not something that's you forget, because every quarter you can have input as to what happens to that revenue that you bring in for the game. So it keeps everybody involved and thinking about what this is all about, which is the charity.
Yeah, exactly. And the way I feel about it is that you don't want to build games around just stuffing the message down your face, because that's no fun. We play games to play games, but if you want your games to support and have people learn, then let's keep that outside the game, and let's make that or tie it into the game creatively. I believe we've done that pretty well, and ultimately allow any type of learning or any type of support be done passively and forward thinking, off the game and in the social media.
Yeah, because I love, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but if you get through Ionia, when you get to the end, you get a very nice message from, I think if I remember correctly, it was one of Steve Irwin's kids, right? His son.
Robert Owen.
Yeah, so you get a nice
Yeah.
message, a video message from him, telling you about, the charity and how it's working through Ionia. So I thought that was really nicely done, and like you said, it doesn't take away from the game, right? I mean, there's a great story and there's lessons here, but it's not something that is ever preachy or anything like that, and it doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the game. It allows you to get enjoyment of the game, but then still learn something about it, about what's going on, which I thought was great.
Thank you. I'm trying to hopefully be a model for any future games, future titles, and even outside of VR games and even outside of gaming in general. I just think it's a move we can make, that if companies were supporting nonprofits and companies doing good for the areas of our lives that need work, we would be in a much better place.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get into the games a little bit now.
Yeah.
Let's talk Ionia. So Ionia launches is about a year ago, right? It launches on PC.
Yes, exactly. September 22nd.
Yeah, and when it came out on PC, and I still say the same thing today, as this is probably one of the most beautiful games that you'll see on PC. Like, this is a game that you should put everyone into their first time in virtual reality. Like, this is a special. This is one of those holy shit moments when you get into virtual reality and you can look out. When you get into the beginning scene and you get out onto that little balcony area and you can look out onto the valley and you can see some of the bigger creatures walking around.
Mhm.
It is a holy shit moment. Like, am I really standing here? It is gorgeous. It is the graphics in there definitely rival, some of the best looking games you'll find. And that was my biggest takeaway from the game.
Yeah.
I had a couple criticisms of the game also, but that was one of the things that I still to today will put people in Ionia if I want to show them what PC virtual reality is really all about.
Oh, thank you. And if there was anything we did wrong, is we didn't express that solely and immediately to our audience, right? And I think we did a great job of shaping that message and that vision and making sure it got put in front of the right VR audience after launch. But yeah, that was our goal, was to create extremely family friendly, very linear, story driven, a story living experience with light puzzling where you could put your grandmother in. I had before COVID, we were doing some marketing promotion and I put Agatha, a 101-year-old in a retirement home, into Ionia, and she
Nice.
played it for over 15 minutes. Her staff said she hadn't stood up that long for weeks. And that really is our goal.
That's
And
awesome.
and that
Yeah.
was what we were planning on delivering. And honestly, it has a special place in my heart. I work on it constantly, almost on a daily basis myself. It's actually the game that taught me how to learn virtual reality development, and that's what it will be, or that's what it is, and that's what it'll continue to be, as a game perfect for the first time VR users, the casual VR users, the family friendly VR users.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the backstory of Ionia, because some of the shortcomings I had with the game, you explained to me at PAX, and it completely became clear to me why the game did have those shortcomings, and it also explained to me maybe that I was thinking about the game incorrectly, and maybe it's not fair to the game to call it a game at
Yeah.
all. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the path and what happened with Ionia and why it wasn't like the perfect game or the perfect experience.
So our initial audience was focused on location-based entertainment. We had cruise ships lined up. We had mom and pop LBEs all over the place. We had some of the larger ones interested. I had all of these agreements lined up. This was going to be our introduction into the VR space with Ionia, and thinking that, hey, this is a great game for when kids are over there shooting each other in the multiplayer rooms. Here's a game for everybody else who doesn't necessarily want to touch that, right? There are some incredibly well-made games that are beautiful and breathtaking, but almost all of them are violent or in some capacity would not be the type of game that a large audience who are now entering the VR space want to participate in. So we made Ionia for them. And then, of course, we all dealt with a very global issue that led to those agreements just disappearing overnight. And as a company, we decided, hey, we need to take this LBE focused game that we were then known to slowly turn into a consumer level VR game. And we got to do this now during COVID. And also we had an opportunity to take it to all VR platforms. And so we took that opportunity. And honestly, we thought go big or go home. And I'm still happy and still confident with the decision I made. But I think that led to some of the criticisms that came out, and to your point, some of the issues we might have had, and more the fact that our messaging initially for the release of the game, for some people, could have been like, this is a huge game. This is going to be hours long and complicated, and entertainment. Because another area that we've learned as a company, obviously this was our first game, our first VR game. We are very good at making videos. We're very good at making content and media. Actually, an entire other side of Rotu works on virtual production, virtual art department, VFX, and ultimately we make awesome, cool looking content. And so we created a bunch of cinematic trailers, and we attached cinematic elements to even inside the game as these videos that you watch initially to prepare you for the levels. And I think that also during the course of the marketing for the release got expectations to be not what we wanted. And since release, though, we focused on putting it in front of children hospitals, school systems, in front of after-school programs, in front of casual VR users and communities that are VR artists, for example. We even did a giant VR art competition. And ultimately, this has really helped us grow the community we meant for Ionia and taught us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it explains so many things to me, because that was one of my biggest criticisms too, was the Quest game. You know what I mean? The Quest port or the Quest version of Ionia was vastly different. And of course it's going to be, because it's a Quest game. It's not PC, and there's no way you can get the visuals anywhere near the same. But the problem is for me was the visuals for me were a big part of the game. And when you lose that big part of the game, but it makes sense if you were never really thinking about going to the Quest 2 at all, and then you need to scramble. You have this thing, you have COVID that lands right in your lap, and you have to completely change how you do these things. And then you're like, okay, I mean, we have to do something with this game that we just poured all this time, years of work into. And everything is kind of like falling apart on you, and then you have to pivot, and it makes sense. But to me, it's where you've come out of this, and I'll let Todd kind of take it from here. But I want to mention a few people that have come in the chat, because we've had a lot of people jump in afterwards, and we'll say hi to them real quick before we move on, because this is the transition between these two games is where I'm completely blown away, and where
speechless. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see Eric Masher speechless.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't happen very often. Let me say hi to VR with Jasmine. Jasmine, how are you doing? Thank you for coming in and saying hi. Michelle B is here. She's been here for a little bit, but I did not say her originally. We had an Orland Hooper sighting. Todd, Orland Hooper's jacked, yo. Orland Hooper is jacked, yo. What is going on, Orland Hooper? How are you doing, man? We had who else stopped in that I did see? We had Chatty has
people
come
in the multiverse.
Yeah, I see that. And why don't we do that before we get into Eolia? Would you guys, Jason, you want to take a peek into the multiverse?
Oh, let's do it.
I will say one more person here. We got an I'm Messy sighting. He says, good to see you. I am Messy. How are you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by and saying hi. Miss you, dude. And I think that was it, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's take a quick peek. And why don't we do this? We'll take a quick peek into Heidi.
Dude, why do you always
I miss being in Restream.
So I miss having all the power, because
I don't know if anybody's noticed.
That he wouldn't
no one in chat has noticed.
If anybody didn't notice, we are back in our old digs, folks. We're back in Restream because Todd's OBS completely took a big dump and nothing's working. So we had to go back into our old
all my scenes are
home.
buggered up, so I got to redo it all. Yeah.
So Mash has some control again.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But D, what I was thinking was maybe we jump into the multiverse, and then before we get into Eolia, we give a couple of keys away for
We haven't even
Ionia.
teased what games we're giving away. So
Yeah, why don't you do that real quick, Todd, before we jump?
today we're going to give away a bunch of stuff. Jason was nice enough to give us 2 keys to Eolia for the Quest, 2 keys for Ionia on Steam. We're also going to give away a Steam key to Song in the Smoke and a Quest key to Runner.
Oh my God, I have so much to say about Runner.
games.
Runner dropped today, and I have a lot to say about Runner. It's so good. But yeah, but let's do this. So D, if you can make sure the wheel is ready for this, I'll pull you. I'm going to pull you off the screen one more minute, and then I'm going to pull Jason in, and we're going to go into the multiverse.
You got to tease the chat like that, just a little bit
I
of
know.
D, and then
A little bit of D.
away.
You know who else
I
likes
could
a little
say
bit of D?
some Damn.
My mom.
Oh, stop it! Jason's here. We have guests. Why do you got to go there?
I don't know who hit that.
Dude,
button.
you started it. Dude.
I did not. Okay, let's do this. Let's jump into the multiverse. It's been a long time. It's been weeks since we've been in here. We're going to bring in Jason Ward, Mr. Tasselhoff. D, we'll see you in a minute. What is up, Tass? How are you doing in the multiverse? Look at that room, dude. No, that's me. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Getting to it.
Look at you. What's up, Jason? How you doing, man? Can we hear him?
I
we
can't
can't
hear
hear
him. Jason, you got your mic on.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, we got you. How are you doing?
Doing good. It's been a while.
Cool.
I know, right?
So Jason Parks, welcome to the multiverse. So this is when we are live, when we do our every Thursday night stream, this is a public room in the multiverse. And when we go live, this room turns into our room basically, and we can make these doorways, and people are in here with Tass and they're hanging out. Who do we got over there, Tass?
Got Felipe over here.
Felipe 9170. What is up, Felipe?
Hack over here.
Hack
Oh, I
BMX.
love
What is
this.
up, Hack? So there's many different instances of this room. So there may be only a few people in Jason's room, but then you have another room that'll have 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 or however many people. But yeah, look at that nice door right there for Eolia.
Boom. And if you go to it, it can take you to the app.
Yep.
Then you've
and
got, it
then-
looks like the Meta Connect.
That's correct. Yep. And then we got
Nice.
some new doors upstairs as well. You turn
Alright,
around, go upstairs.
Oh yeah. look at
So
that.
all these images, this whole room is decorated by me, and we
Oh,
design
this is
everything
somebody up
when
in
it
the
goes
balcony.
live on Thursday.
so
Well,
cool.
let's go see what we can do here. All right,
Look at
so let's go over here first.
There's the Ionia portal.
Oh,
That'll
good
take you
old
right to the
Ionia.
game. So if you
Yep.
own the game, that actually launches the game. If you don't own the game, it'll take you to the store where you can buy it.
Nice.
Yep, absolutely. Anybody in the multiverse tonight, go check it out.
Who's that crazy person?
God, he's so freaking old. Look at that guy. He's like 100 years old.
Oh,
Where's his hat?
Look at that guy.
and
too
over
funny.
here, buy a coffee.
Nice.
And our other
Heck
mods.
Yeah,
Who do
those
we
are
have over
moderators.
here? There's somebody. Oh, they went downstairs. Let's go. Oh, hi, Joe.
There we go. June 9170. How are we doing? Awesome.
So the
yeah.
way these
So,
work, Jason, is these are instanced, and we get about, I think, 15 per instance, 15 people per instance. And then as soon as it gets filled up or whatever, a new instance just self appears and more people go in. So it's
You're
kinda
on
cool.
TV, Joe.
Yeah, it's a
and then
really
you've got
cool
the
thing.
dual side rooms here.
yeah.
you
and
can-
our brother Gamer Tag is hanging out in there.
See our reviews, their video,
Yeah.
and then we got Jasmine over here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Jasmine.
Wow.
For
Look at
sure.
that. VR with Jasmine. That's awesome.
Big shout out to Jasmine. She played through Eolia, and the whole team loved her review.
She did.
Yeah, she did it. Jasmine did it live, right? She live streamed the
Mhm.
Eolia. That's
Yeah.
There we go.
awesome, man. That is so awesome.
You may notice
She-
a new accoutrement up here.
I see that. Yeah.
What do you have, ears up there?
He's got ears on his headset.
Yeah,
now.
those are the wolf ears.
Nice. Awesome. Well,
But
thank you,
yes,
Cass. We're
that was
glad we had a
great
chance.
video.
Yeah, thank you. We're glad we had a chance to get back into the multiverse. We'll try and do this more often. I know we've been gone for a while, but I'm jumping in and out of it. But very happy that we're able to get in there. Thank you for jumping in on a short notice tonight. We really appreciate it. And
Bye,
we'll,
everybody.
We'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, I'm assuming the room is available even after the show, right? Anybody can hop in anytime.
Yeah. So the way it works, Jason, can you turn around one more time?
Yeah. You want the back two rooms here?
The one on the right.
One on the right, Jasmine, or
Nope,
this one?
that one there. Yeah. So when
you go.
the show's not live, the show replays in this room on that television there in the back.
Ah, cool.
And it'll replay for I think a week, or it might even be a permanent wall now. I think.
Yeah.
We're just constant, and people can go. It's all spatial audio, so if you're not close to that screen, you can't hear it. But if you go and you can sit on that couch, and then you'll hear the show and watch the show.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it's neat.
Multiverse is a neat thing, and there's something in the multiverse called the Infiniverse, which is basically a living, thriving city that you can buy real estate in, and we actually own some. We actually own a building, and we have our own room there. We have our own store there where you can go in and buy merchandise from Q2C VR Gamer, and it's really cool. The whole multiverse app is growing. It's getting better and bigger. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, so this is our room. This is our we own
atrium,
we own this atrium, and anybody can get into our room and check us out, and and we have links to other like virtual strangers and anything that we're we're affiliated with in this room.
I always like to take a step back and think about how mind blowing this is to most people, right? Like we're all a bunch of VR nerds, as we were talking about earlier, but most people can't even fathom what's happening right now. This is purchased metaverse real estate. How crazy is that?
Absolutely. Let's go say hi to Ashley. Ashley's always over there on this wall.
She's over on the wall there. Yeah, she's always.
This is a great interview we did with Ashley.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Super fun.
Yeah, she's always on that wall.
Just head out the door though, Taz, so we can see the city.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is called the Infiniverse, and it's inside this multiverse app. And it's a growing app. They're working on it constantly. They've been doing a lot of stuff, which is really cool. I'm glad that they're kind of thriving. They won't let you out.
It's loading.
I'm trapped in the multiverse.
Rob Perry has just slid in. This is late to the show. What is up, Rob Perry? How are you doing, man?
And Polish Hammer is here as well.
Yeah, so this is our building right there. You can see he's got our name on the front, and it's got Q2C VR Gamer. We own most of those floors, I think, except for one. Right? We have one of our patrons owns one of the floors. We bought one of the floors, and she allowed us to put our logo on her floor. So she's awesome. Karina Stimson, you're awesome.
Nice.
But yeah. And then there's a lot of people that have stores here. You can actually go in and buy merchandise and buy, products from these
everything
stores.
From clothes to real estate to there's auto sales people in here. It's ridiculous. It's amazing.
Oh, I got to think about a new office for Rotu.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get in here.
It would be neat because you never know how much foot traffic you'd get. Just people wandering around in this city. All those little icons on the buildings represent someone who's bought that piece of real estate.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So cool. Okay, we're gonna jump back out of here and get back to Rotu and Eolia a little bit here. So let's give a key away. But Tass, thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Sounds good. All
right. So we'll bring D back in and say let's rock and roll. Let's give a couple of keys away, and then we can get back to Jason and Eolia. Let's give a couple of keys away to Ionia. D, do you have your wheel ready?
Dude, who are you talking to? Of course.
We have a quick cosplay sighting in chat. What is up, Becca? How are you doing? Quick cosplay. She was out there with us, Jason, at
absolutely
at PAX as well, and she did such a great job.
I would love to see her as Allegra or Conga as one of the characters.
Oh my God, that would be. We did talk about this. She needs to do Allegra. I think
she needs better pictures though. I couldn't find really good pictures of what the clothes she's wearing and stuff. She's like, I need better pictures. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna share. AK will help us out. She'll get all that.
Yeah. All right, so let's pull up the wheel and give some keys away. Oh man, I haven't had the wheel on this screen in so long. It's not 4K anymore. What the hell?
I know, right?
Oh no. Oh wait. Oh, Pepper.
You missed?
We're on the next one, Pepper. Sorry. It's all Todd's fault. It's all Todd's fault.
It's gonna be it's gonna be Nibelheim.
Nibelheim's already on there. That's the funny part.
Oh.
System critical.
Oh, nice. we need to,
week too, didn't we?
yeah, we need to talk some System Critical too, because their game is amazing, and I got a chance to check it out, and I think we need to feature this game next week, Todd. And I think we need to make a video.
Yeah, for sure. It's on my video list for sure.
Yeah, I think we're
I
gonna
can't
let's
do it
try
next week because I'm out of town. But
yeah, maybe
it
I'll
is on
try
my
and do the video, and then we'll talk about it for next week, because they're a great dev and they got a really cool game. It's like what's that game?
It's like
Mega Man. It's Mega Man. It's exactly Mega Man in VR.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah.
With like old school graphics.
Yeah, for sure. But cool. Congratulations, System Critical. You got yourself a copy of Ionia on Steam. And then let's do one more quick one, and then we'll just jump back into some of this interview.
Good music choices.
So quick cosplay. Becca says she's gonna finish Eolia, and then she's leaning towards Conga. For the
Yes.
cosplay. That makes I mean she would make either one. She would do great.
Oh, what?
Fourth wall.
Oh, IK missed it by a.
Oh no, that's so funny. That would have been great if she did win it.
That would have been funny, right?
But we can't take it away from fourth wall.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
That's right.
Yeah, fourth wall breaker. Congratulations. All right, that's awesome. D, thank you for getting the wheel set up. We will see you shortly. Peace.
Peace out.
That was a lot of fun, Jason. I'm glad we had a chance to jump into the multiverse. It's something we haven't done in a while, and I'm glad we had a chance to do it while you were here, so you could kind of check it out. It's really cool, and I like what they're doing with the team over there, and they're really working on it. So,
I just
Todd,
like that it's a neat way for people in our community to actually get together and talk. Like they can all talk to each other in there.
Right.
Like Hack the Game Cat said in chat earlier. He's like, I'm going into the multiverse to have a beer and watch the show. So he just goes in there and they just shoot, chit chat and watch the show. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Todd, why don't you kind of take over from here? I've been talking long enough, and take over here, and let's
jump
move
into
from
Eolia. Yeah, let's move on to Eolia. It's a very different game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, tell us about the process. Was it a conscious effort for you to take what you've learned from Ionia and make and use those shortcomings, if you will, to make them positive for Eolia? Or was it a start from scratch? Let's just make something new.
Oh no, it's definitely a learning experience, and actually to tie in real quick, something I wanted to share about Ionia before we hopped off is that we're doing constant Ionia updates. Ionia on Quest and PSVR already looks better than it did at launch, and we're looking at a major update for an anniversary update that's looking to come out pretty soon, and we're looking to add extra things to find, basically not to completely side rail what it is and what it's for, but ultimately just to add more to what it is, right? And so I don't want to give anything away, but there's going to be a bunch of fun little tidbits that, so anybody who played it a year ago, I guarantee it'll be fun if you jump back in, and there'll be more to experience.
It's like your anniversary update, right? You're going to do an anniversary update, and then you dropped your price too, right?
Oh, yes. So in lieu of Eolia, we dropped the price of Ionia to $8.99. We thought that was a little more appropriate. It's been out for a year. How can you compare? We shouldn't have the same price for a game that's 90 minutes compared to 7 hours long, right?
Yeah.
Right. And it also made sense. A lot of the community that has been buying Ionia and has been enjoying Eolia are looking for that type of game under the sub $10 area. So it made a lot of sense for us, and we're happy we did. And it actually has boosted the amount of copies we've sold since. That being said, it already looks better. It's going to look even way better very soon for the anniversary update. So keep checking on that. But Todd, to answer your question, we basically took everything we learned, and a big part of that is optimization in the Unreal Engine, which is so important. It actually has applied to every other area of Rotu's business. Optimizing for virtual reality with the Unreal Engine has applied to virtual production, creating effects, ultimately getting giant UE5 and UE4 scenes onto massive screens in LA and across the world. And ultimately, we took everything we learned from Ionia, and particularly for Eolia, and just decided to do a game focused for hand tracking, right? And hands first gameplay. And that really was the sole driver, is that the second game in the saga will be able to be standalone. It will have it will tie into Ionia. If you find collectibles in the game, they actually refer to Ionia all over the game. There's little mentions of it, but you can play both games completely separately. And the team focused on taking the visual fidelity and quality we did on PC and getting even better at making that into a Quest game, right? And focusing on how to get the optimization of a PC VR game into a Quest. And then ultimately, and a lot of people don't realize this, when you're working with hand tracking, your CPU and GPU utilization is even lower than a standard VR game. The moment you don't have controllers, there's a lot more the headset has to do to track those fingers. So we then had to work even with a more constrained box. And I think you both agree, and I think anybody who's played, the team at Rotu did a fantastic job of fitting all of that content into that 7 hours and into a hand tracking game. So that really was a big part of the transition, is not just making the exact same thing and not completely doing something different, but learning from all of the optimization techniques we learned through porting and PCVR. And then two, and something I didn't mention, was the audience that we're focused on, right? Is where Ionia is for casual VR users. Ionia is for casual VR users. Eolia is going to, if you're not careful, have you fall off a 40-foot cliff. It's, we made sure, and part of the saga and the journey of Rhythm of the Universe is non-violent, right? And the game is focused around being creative with things that are other than shooting or gore. So that being said, it's still not a game you want to necessarily put your grandmother into, because there's a lot that can happen to you. There's you get chased by giant tornadoes. You can be overtaken by sandstorms. You can fall from great heights. You can get trapped into, secret locations. There's a lot going on. Not to mention much harder puzzles, to the point where people will have to come back and keep trying to get them to work.
It's hard, yo.
It's
don't
really
think
hard.
Don't think you're gonna walk through this game. Don't think you're gonna be like, oh, it's like a cookie cutter puzzle.
I thought it was going to be a cakewalk when I started playing it. And I was
There's
like,
challenge
oh
here, man. There's super challenge here, but it's never frustrating. It's always fun. Like I never got to the point where I was like, all right, I just don't want to do this anymore. It was always something. Even and Todd's good at these games, and he was like, all right, I'm stuck.
Yes.
I was like, now what do I do?
and like Todd, to your point, like it was where in Ionia we had a Sukumba, and all you had to play were 3 notes of like a 1-5-1 on it. It directly relates to music theory, but ultimately played these very simple notes. You could get the elevator work in Ionia. In Eolia, it's like that on steroids, right? There's still music theory inspired puzzles, but just on a different level. Not to mention that we haven't had a single user yet find all 26 collectibles. So that's a challenge to
Todd,
anybody out there, and it's most certainly possible.
Go get it.
Wow, that's exciting, and that's a challenge. Holy crap! I know some people in the community who will totally be all over that. And that was going to lead me into the next question: was hand tracking.
Let me just say, quick cosplay said I had to message Jason at one point and get some inside info. I think
I know she told me that.
Yeah. Thank God we know you, Jason, so we can just message you. All right, Jason, give me your phone number so I can give it to everybody who has any questions about how to get through Eolia.
We also got the walkthrough on the website. If anybody gets super frustrated, as a bit of spoilers, it won't give you everything, but it'll get you through if you really need.
And you did that smartly. Like that walkthrough is a PDF. It's not a visual walkthrough. So I think that limits the spoilers, because
exactly
you really have to read and understand what you're reading to put it, and then put the headset on and try to figure out what it is that, when you're watching a YouTube video and you're watching someone do a playthrough, you just memorize what he did and then go into the headset and do it. But with a written walkthrough, I think that was a smarter choice to make it, still challenging, even though you kind of got a hint on what it is you needed to do next.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I wanted both options to exist because we already have people who have most of the game played through online. But if someone doesn't want to go and watch that, but also, like to your point, still have some help, a PDF is, we were thinking at Rotu, a good option. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any other developer's done that, to be honest, and I think it was smart.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
It was actually we made it for QA. So and then I was just like, hey, why not throw this over to the public, right?
Yeah, right. So hand tracking, back to that. It was always the default get-go. This game has to have hand tracking or we're not making it type of scenario.
Exactly. This was something that was a must for us. We actually focused on pushing the boundaries of what hand tracking can do in Unreal, and focusing particularly on locomotion systems, right? We want to hopefully be the grandparent of locomotion systems for VR, or at least help influence it in the right direction.
Yeah.
You do something that's super smart, though. Something I love about what you did. You made it playable with controllers at any time, which is super smart because there's some people that just don't get hand tracking and they don't want to get hand tracking. And that kind of game can frustrate people if they have to do it. So you, at any point in this game, if you feel you're not digging the hand tracking, you can literally just pick up your controllers, and all of a sudden now you're using your controllers. You don't have to go to a menu.
No
you don't have
menus,
to back out.
nothing.
You don't have to break immersion. You're in it. Super smart. Kudos to you guys for doing that.
Thank you. And that's a good point too. Sometimes people either fatigue or just frustration, whatever it might be. There are, and always for a while, will be limitations to hand tracking. Sorry?
It could even be a lighting issue where they just their hands just aren't being picked up, and it's a Quest problem, nothing to do with the game.
100%, right?
Right?
Even if you're not aware, the lights get dark, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know, and one other really particular point, since we're on hand tracking and the locomotion, another huge part of Eolia and shout out to Mike Hogue, lead developer over at Rotu, magic of all things Unreal. He did a lot of interesting work with the fact that with most hand tracking games and what's default out of the box, when you're developing, let's say you're climbing, right? And you grab a ledge and I look away, right? Normally in most games I would drop, right? Because the moment I lose confidence, my hand's not holding it anymore. Mike did a great customization of the hand tracking SDK, and we were able to get to a point where there's prediction throughout the game. So there'll be plenty of times when, let's say you're riding the Largo and you look behind you and you're getting chased by a giant storm, you look back, you're still holding the reins because we've made it where obviously you would be, right? Obviously you'd still be holding that ledge when you're climbing there. And that's the case for dozens of other interactions throughout the game that would make sense to be done outside of the confidence that you would have with hand tracking.
I can't imagine how frustrating it would be riding those elephants. I call them elephants. And turning around and then having to find because you're getting chased by, 80-story tall tornadoes that are coming at you full bore. It's like nerve-wracking.
It's one of the coolest parts of the game, and it really is. And the controls are great. And to your point with the climbing, you're right, because anytime normally if you're in hand tracking and you look away from your hand, your headset loses view of your hand. It's gone. I mean, try occlusion. Try put one hand in front of the other. You lose it because it can no longer see it anymore. Your headset can't see the hand that's in front of the other. So think about turning away completely from your headset. That's a smart thing to try and fix because it's something you're going to do because you're used to not having to do that. But if you make hand tracking where you have to look at your hands, you limit to what you can do with hand tracking. So this is a smart thing to do. And the other thing I'll say about hand tracking, and I'll let Todd continue. This is the best climbing game that I've ever played in VR. Yes. I have huge issues with a lot of games.
Yeah.
Bone Lab needs to call Rotu and say, come help us, because Bone Lab is a great game who can't get their freaking climbing right. They need to call Rotu and say, guys, come teach us, because this is hand tracking and it's the best climbing I've ever seen. Bone Lab uses controllers and they still screw it up. This game, guys, go play Eolia and climb. It's the best. It's as good as playing the game, The Climb. I'm not kidding.
Because in the climb you can't turn your head.
Yeah, exactly. I hate climbing. Climbing in VR can be so tricky because sometimes you think you're gripping and you don't grip, and then you fall. And how many times have you tried to climb a ladder in any VR game and you get 3 rungs up, and then you go to grip and you're doing the same thing you did the last 3 times, but this time for some reason it doesn't register, and you lose it, and you end up falling down. It's annoying. It doesn't happen here. I don't know what you guys did, but you did something amazing, and it's freaking hand tracking, and it's that good. The climb should never use controllers ever again. They should go to you guys and say, teach us how to do this so we can make Climb 3 with only using our hands.
Oh, I'm clipping that out. I love that.
It's in the pitch deck, right?
The whole Rotu team's going to sleep easier tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. And this is one of the big things that I came out of of PAX, and when I did that demo, it was like, holy crap, man, this is so good, man. And hand tracking is not easy. It's hard to do, and there's not a lot of and there's not a lot of people doing it, so you don't have a lot of reference, right? You guys must have had to like invent some of this stuff on your own. I mean, you're treading new territory here in a game.
We did. We actually have, I believe it's a developer blog on at Meta, as well as on our Medium website, on our Medium profile, a full article that dives into just even a part of what we've done with hand tracking, written by Mike over at Rotu, who did a majority of that work. He did a fantastic job this year, and we had to really push the boundaries of what was possible, utilizing the existing software for hand tracking, even what the hardware could even do. And then also Hands 2.0 that came out while we were in the process of developing was a huge help as well.
Right.
And ultimately, though, that was the goal. And that's what I think we were originally, and how we got on the topic, right, is hand tracking had to be a must for this game, because we wanted to have that focus, and we really wanted to push the boundaries and be one of the first to do it.
Yeah,
and
you guys,
you're now the granddaddy of hand tracking.
Yeah.
So
you guys killed it. You knocked it out of the park, really.
And
It's one of the,
it'll be like that forever, right? Like, and the next game that comes out with hand tracking, every podcast, every review is going to be like, but they don't do it like Iolia did it.
I know you ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, you've ruined it for everybody, Jason.
Everybody now has to step up their game, big time.
And I played, man, our team and me personally, I just played every single hand tracking game, but while we were in research and development mode, and it just was very frustrating, to be honest, right? I understand the sentiment. I even understand the sentiment of the people who play Eolia and still are like, hey, I'm not ready for it. The point, though, is it's amazing, and it's going to get better. And even if it's not right for you now, it's most certainly going to at some point, because these headsets are getting better. This hardware is growing. I think you guys are going to talk about it later on the podcast. Some of the new headsets coming out, they are out of the box going to make this work better. And ultimately, this is a direction we need to go, because just give it a try, play Eolia, and over the first few hours, you'll realize that there's some opportunities and times in which you actually prefer your hands over the controllers. Maybe the gripping, because you actually make this grip motion. It feels very natural.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I can dive into, as well as to how some of those interactions with hand tracking might be even better than controllers, just because they are more natural. And most people in the world don't even know how to use a controller. As gamers, we're all just shocked that someone doesn't know how to use a thumbstick, but most people don't. And most people don't even want to ever touch a controller. So once VR is more adopted, there's going to be a lot more need for hand tracking.
Yeah.
I'm just reading through chat here, and Traveling Man says, can we play Eolia first, then play Ionia second after the update comes out? And
absolutely, I would suggest it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that is kind of like the suggested way right now, because the update that's coming out in the next couple of weeks is enormous, and it's going to add so much more to the Quest version of Ionia, that play Eolia now and then play the prequel, if you want to call it that.
Exactly. They are, even though they're in the same universe, they're completely separate games. One thing about our lore is that the lands, which the games are named after, Ionia, Doria, Phrygia, Lydia, Mixolydia, Eolia, and Locria, these are modes of music. This is the Ionian mode of music. And it even ties into the quality of what the Ionian mode is. It's C major, if people are musicians out there. It's any major, dominant major chord or scale. It's like the root, the mother earth of music. And that's why it's a big jungle, right? Whereas Eolia has qualities that are desert and a little like the sound of the Aeolian mode does sound almost like a desert, in that it's dry and there's something amiss. And so the qualities of the actual modes of music that influence the lands even tie into what the game's story is about, right? So we dive deep into music theory, we dive deep into music mythology and lore, and the symbols and everything that encompasses music and music education, music theory.
I was going to say, really, people are going to learn about music without knowing that they're learning about music.
You absolutely do. You all actually played scales and rhythm and did all sorts of things that you're learning in music class.
Yeah. And this game is beautiful, and there are moments in it when you're doing some of these things that it will give you goosebumps. It's that It's that amazing. It's that profound. It makes you feel it when any game can affect you. Again, I keep saying game. This is more of a game than Ionia, but it's more than just a game. It's an experience. There's several different levels on here with emotions and things that you can get out of this. It's different than most every other experience that you'll go through. And again, you'll get those goosebump feelings because of the music and how it can affect you. And it's really, really well done.
And thanks for bringing up the soundtrack. It's something that we're very proud of as Berklee College of Music grads. Music comes first. A lot of the music for Ionia and Eolia were written before the game was ever made. And we have an 1.5-hour soundtrack on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music. Our soundtrack's there. Please check it out. And I think a lot of people could appreciate the soundtrack standalone from the VR game, standalone from anything else, because the music is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so good. Definitely check it out. Now, you kind of said a few things there that I heard. You said some other names of other ecosystems. Is it are these
of Rotu?
Are these other games? Can you shed any light on this?
My dream and my goal, and it's working out already, is to really potentially turn this into a series of games that all tie into the universe of Rhythm of the Universe and the music mythology that plays throughout all of them, but to have each game be based around one of the lands, right? So I can, something I can say is that most likely the third game is going to be a game called Lydia. That's going to be underwater. And the only thing I would like to hint about that is we're going to push the boundaries of another area of VR, right? So, super casual. There it is. Super casual, first time VR users. One of the most beautiful games for PC VR, right? Focusing on some of the best hand tracking. Whereas with Lydia, the team has, dabbled in the idea that maybe diving into multiplayer and sort of like the racing of the Largo was pretty cool, and so there might be some synergy there, and I won't say more, but we have
That's super cool. I just dropped the Spotify soundtrack into chat, so you guys can check that out. It's the Eolia original soundtrack. So
that's so cool. That is big news. I'm really looking forward to this series. I think I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong. When Ionia first came out on PC, was it set to be just a trilogy?
No, we've teased all sorts of ideas internally. Maybe it will be a trilogy. Maybe it'll be the last one. A desert, jungle, and water seems like a pretty cool trilogy. But if our community wants it and it makes sense for us to keep going, we have a lot more of the story to tell. And there's going to be a way that I think it's very clever, and it's going to take a series of years, but these stories are going to tie together more and more in a way that everyone's going to get their mind blown about. And then we have our eyes on, especially since it is a part of our business, maybe other areas of entertainment. Maybe you'll start to experience the Rhythm of the Universe saga other than just the live shows we did, the VR games we made. Maybe they're going to be somewhere else too.
D, what do you want? She says she's putting stuff in turtle. What do you want? She wants a turtle.
I want a turtle.
In the next game, you want a turtle?
You said water, so I'm like, oh, I love turtles, man.
Have you seen our Pantoise in Ionia? Do you love turtles?
I love turtles. I haven't.
She hasn't been into Ionia yet.
We have a giant epic turtle in Ionia that you actually ride and go on this like Disney underwater or this Disney ride quest on.
Oh, cool.
You have to bow to it to actually get it to ride your back.
You know what? You know what's cool, Jason? Maybe we could hook Dee up with a key because she just got her PC. Of course. So she literally just got her PC this past week.
It's beautiful.
Say no more. I got you. Say no more. You got it. I would love for you to play it as soon as you can.
And then we'll talk about the turtle.
I like
so let's do this before we just have like a couple of quick questions for you to finish up. But what I want to do real quick is Todd, are you ready for that you just popped in there?
This is Eolia, yeah.
Yeah, can we just we want to show the trailer real quick?
Sure, yep.
dreamt real again, haven't you?
There are some storms in life that are too big to face. Who are you to do something about it?
We each have a note to play, even if you are not a believer.
Hell yeah, that's the way to make a trailer right there.
Right. It just makes me smile the whole time I'm watching.
Hell yeah.
I've seen it like 20 times and I just can't stop smiling every time I watch it.
So good.
Yeah, it was a choice to like, do we go mixed reality or do we just go cinematic gameplay, right? And oh man, that was a lot of work with the team. That was fun.
Hell yeah! Again, goosebumps. I mean that and the game looks exactly like that, guys. When you're in there, the Quest 2 version's amazing looking. It's one of the best looking games on the Quest 2 I've ever seen. Where Ionia gets a little flat, it's a little wallpapery. Eolia is not. Eolia has texture. You feel like you have depth to everything. It's gorgeous. It's just such a. And you guys did this in a year.
Yeah, and we did. I don't know.
A year.
It was the most work I've ever done in my life in one period of time. It was insane. Especially the QA process. Oh man, I've learned so much. I would never I would never give it up. It taught me so much, but I am so happy that I got to take a little breather. And honestly, I didn't. I say that now. Like the moment we released, it's just been even more ramping it up. But it's not like in the engine with the team every day trying to fix every little thing. And I'm not sure if when you all played, and also for the community, we did a big old update. I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where we increased the visual quality of the entire game. We fixed any little thing that was mentioned in the chats and in the comment sections. We added more to the game. We also are working on rolling out every 2 weeks more updates. And I also saw someone in the chat ask, where was it? Oh, they're going by so fast. Someone had a question about, is there an indicator for the 26 Easter eggs? Yes. So in the game, you get a journal a journal and a satchel. Your satchel allows you to hold and pull out and keep inventory. And on the far right side of that satchel, you'll see a list of Easter eggs, and it tells you how many you have and that there's 26 of them to find.
Can you explain real quick the movement, because somebody had asked, how do you move with a hand tracking game? So maybe if you could just explain how you move from spot to spot with a hand tracking game.
Would love to. And we even tried to focus around it in a conducting way, right? So we wanted to try and keep everything in a music-esque style. So imagine whenever you pinch, you create a joystick, and that when you drive away from that joystick with the pinch, that then takes your character or you as a user forward or in whatever direction on a pinwheel you are going, in whatever direction your fingers go away from the initial pinch, right? So I pinch here. If I push forward, my player moves forward. And that's with the left hand. With the right hand, it actually turns me or snaps me, whatever degree I've chosen in options. That is both in-game through your journal or in the main menu. And so I then drive myself directionally with my left hand, and I turn with my right hand. I also jump with my right hand by pinching and pulling up. So if you ever watch someone in the headset outside of the game, they look like they're almost doing a sort of a
conductor.
Yes,
that's what I was going to say. Idea. It felt like for me when I was playing, like with the hand movements and everything, I'm like,
Jason Parks, you're so sly. Look at you.
Sneaking all this music theory into our minds.
The jump is super cool, people. So I mean, just the jump, because again, you just grab that point in space and you flick like this, and you just jump, and it's so natural. It feels so good.
It's
Like
effortless, dude.
yeah, like I tried it in the middle of PAX. In a little tiny
That was
booth and PAX had the
With
shittiest
crappy
lighting in the world.
Oh my
Had the
God, it's
shittiest
bad.
lighting. And like Jason had he had to like get lights and stuff to make this booth work.
AK had
And
to go
I'm
to
in-
the store twice, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in the middle
Funny.
of this floor and I'm doing this, and you don't have a ton of time, right? When we actually even did like a quick interview there too, so I didn't have a ton of time, but literally in seconds you're doing it. It's quick. It's not something it takes a long time to get adjusted to or work with. You do it for a few minutes, and it's a natural motion after that.
Yeah. It took seconds to master. Really.
Oh man,
It was so cool.
There's so much about the game I want to share. And the chat's even asking. The chat's asking about our UE5 projects. I mean, there's so much to talk about. I don't know how long you guys go, but like
we might have to have you come back for another episode.
Yeah, I got a whole. I mean, we didn't even talk about the virtual production. We didn't talk. Shout out to Amir Sermon, co-founder of Rotu. If anybody's interested, check out a video called Luminescent UE5 Short.
So cool.
Well, let's talk about, because I don't want to not talk about that. So let's do that, because Rotu has their hands in a lot of different stuff, and you guys are very diversified in what you do, and I think that's another testament to what you guys are able to pull off, and the amount of talent that you have in your team. So tell us a little bit about Rotu's video production side.
So it was probably during the production of Ionia when we realized that, hey, some of our previous roots in video editing and production maybe is starting to apply to what we're doing now, and the skills were growing, and we realized that optimizing for virtual reality was the same things we needed to do inside the engine to create virtual production sets, right? So out in Hollywood, if everyone knows probably Mandalorian or any of the major films coming out, some, if not all of those shots are being done against a giant LCD panel screen, right? We're talking like 80 feet high or 40 feet high, 80 feet wide, sometimes even bigger than that. And ultimately they're filming actors and doing that against the screen instead of a green screen, right? And there's a lot of value to doing this, everything from pre-visualization and the actors being able to see the environment they should be in, to some of the techniques you can get from that, and also the iteration time, like that plant needs to be red, not blue, right? You can do that immediately in UE5. So we've been utilizing a lot of the optimization in virtual reality to make really beautiful, hyper-realistic scenes fit these screens. And that being said, I would like to shout out Orbital Studios. You can check out orbitalvs.com. We work very closely with them on several projects. They have a series of studios throughout the country, and ultimately are really killing it in the virtual production space right now. And we've worked on several projects associated with that company, as well as many others. And Luminescent is a UE5 short. We wanted to also publicly just provide people with some of the quality that we're doing, because much of the work we do in virtual production, I can't talk about, unfortunately, NDAs and such. So we wanted to start showing the community what we're actually doing behind the scenes. And Luminescent was something that Amir, primarily by himself and some of our music team, put together in a very short period of time. And ultimately, that is what we're good at, is doing virtual production, virtual art department services in a fraction of the time most companies are doing it. What takes someone a month, we can do it in a few days.
It's amazing that you have a whole team that's just doing this stuff, right? I mean, it's crazy.
And they cross. A lot of our VR team is working, and ultimately we do have different departments, and they do have different people in them, but a lot of especially with a small startup, right, we're putting on different hats.
Yeah,
love it. Absolutely.
I have Luminescent EU5.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Ready to rock if you want to look at that.
Yeah.
That's moisture. Oh, very good. Whew. Wow. Cool. good, is it? That's the It smells suspicious. Birds. That's brilliant. Hey, what? Zoom. Zoom. Pinch. Zoom. Zoom. What? Yeah. Oh.
That thing's gonna be upside down. Will
Gotta collect that thing.
No. Yeah, you go there. I can't really go there.
The voiceover track is awesome.
Yeah,
Shout out to Simone on our team.
that's awesome right there.
That was great.
By the way, all UE5, no compositing, no nothing. This is straight out of the engine. This is actually even using a headset to create that sort of realistic camera shape.
Oh my god.
Sounds like
That's
a didgeridoo.
Flashlight.
Also, the creature you're about to see was co-created with Neville Page. He's the VFX artist for Avatar and a bunch of other AAA films that we've all seen.
Wow. Look at that.
Bioluminescence looks real. God.
Hello?
Dude.
Yeah.
D, you're freaking out already.
He's
I don't
gonna have a
know.
heart attack.
It's pretty, but then okay, I was expecting it to be right up in that.
Oh,
I
damn.
have a feeling I'm gonna get scared. For some reason. He doesn't like the dark.
Oh my god.
That was unpaid in a week. Just wait till Rotu starts to show you what we're doing with our larger projects.
So cool.
Oh my god, D about pissed herself.
Yeah.
Just a disclaimer there, right?
Oh my god.
I forgot to say that.
That
I
is
stare
amazing.
easily.
That is amazing. That's all done in UE5, right?
Unreal 5.
Yeah,
right?
all UE5, and nothing else. Literally just straight from engine. Over 100,000 views in a month of release, or 2 months.
The future of gaming and experiences and anything you can do, whether it be VR flat, is so crazy. It's gonna get insane.
Oh,
I
with
mean-
Lumen and Nanite. Oh man, and I like with the new 5.1 or 5.2, I think 5.1 update. We're starting to play with the idea that Lumen and Nanite might start working in VR. That's actually something Rotu is just every moment waiting to play with, and is really a goal of ours. Is and this is outside of my team. This is just personal. What I would love to start working on is the idea of what can you do with a game, or maybe even an experience that uses space warp, for the Quest 2 alongside Lumen and Nanite in a future UE5 version that works well with VR, we might start to push the boundaries of what a Quest 2 or a future Quest headset could possibly see. We might get close to that realistic world we all want.
That's crazy. That's
crazy.
it. That's Matrix. Keep me in.
It is.
I'm not. I don't need to leave.
That's what I'm all my
Plug me
skills,
in.
my whole career is heading toward that. That's all I want to work on.
Oh man, it looks so good. I absolutely love what you guys are doing. I mean, again, the team you have is so talented, and man, I'm just super impressed with what you guys are doing. I cannot wait for Lydia and then whatever else you guys decide to do. Because here's the thing, I do know, whatever you guys decide to do, it's going to be special and it's going to be amazing. That's just where I've come. That's what I've come to find out and what I've come to see from knowing you, and seeing what you guys have done, in the past.
Thank you.
Can you give us any sneak information, perhaps, on the board games and stuff that you have coming out? I know it's not VR related, but I'm a big board game junkie, and I'm a little excited about these.
I was just questioning if I should bring this up because I'm so eager to share too. And this is the brainchild of Mike. I keep bringing Mike up. I got to bring him up again. This genius.
You need a picture of Mike so you can hold him up.
Yeah, exactly. Mike should be on here. We got to bring him on the next time we're on. Like, I'll bring Mike with me. But I think he was watching a documentary or something online one day and got the idea that, like, oh man, maybe I can create the all the most popular ancient board games of the past 6,000 years, right? For example, there's Egyptian Senet. There is Viking chess. I always butcher it. I think it's
Murder
like
the name,
something like that. And 6 others, right? 8 altogether, and they're not hard. They're actually akin to like many of the games we play now. Like Sorry, one of them is basically the rules of Sorry, and we have this game called Ancient Board Games. Right now, we're working on its development. Please support us if you're interested. This is something that's currently in development. We don't have a release date. We've just started talking about it, and it's going to be like a blend of like the quality you get from Clubhouse games with Nintendo, right? Just the ease of it, the usefulness of it, and then combine that with just super high quality UE5 graphics and capabilities. And we want to include, and obviously it's going to be multiplayer, right? So you'll be playing against friends and foe. It'll also have AIs that you can learn how to play and get better at. We want to include a bunch of just like amazing historical elements that you can add to your inventory, maybe even to your own clothing, right? If you beat if you beat Senet, right, maybe you get a historically replicated Pharaoh's outfit, right? Or something that is relevant to whatever time period you in. The Vikings, right? Like you can just get decked out with Vikings the more you play it, as well as creating like a certain level of currency and diving into the historic currencies of those times and maybe having a way that we play with that well together. Point is that we are currently developing this game. We're looking to really lock down which platforms it'll release on, and ultimately how you'll be able to interact with it. And we'll be sharing that all soon. But right now, it's just something the team is working on, and I can't wait to share more in the future.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
you guys are doing it. You should do something else. You guys are kind of lazy. You're really not doing enough.
I know. It's just like we really got to get our shit together.
I know, right? Oh my God, you guys are doing everything. So Virtual Strangers, Wes from Virtual Strangers says it's confirmed to work in VR as of about a week ago. That is Lumen and Nanite you're talking about. It's just not on standalone yet.
Oh, I should have and thanks for straightening that out, Virtual Strangers. What I meant is like, how stable is it, right? Like, can I package this and play it, 100 times over without it just completely falling apart? I mean, the point is just we got to get that QA process going. We got to see what's really working well and how it's working.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that somebody's doing, thinking about doing this is exciting news. You know what I mean? Trying to do this and get it set up right. So, either way, the future is going to be insane, and I'm really looking forward to it. And Jason, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for staying so long and doing this. And literally, we could probably keep this going in like another 2 hours. I mean, we need to have you back again just to kind of like go over some of the other stuff, because there's so much going on at Rotu, and Man, I just
we didn't even get into Jam Theory. We didn't get into some of the new stuff that's coming out. Like I got a million more questions for you. So
seriously,
by all
man,
means, you are welcome back
when
anytime.
you have more time, when you're just hanging out, eating popcorn on your sofa, come back in and talk to us again, and we need to do this again for sure.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I absolutely had a blast speaking with all of you. This has been incredible, and I hope you'll have me again. I can't wait to be back on.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We should before you go though, we should give your the Eolia keys away because I think that's what everybody wants right now is the Eolia keys. So let's do that. D, are you ready?
D's always ready. It's me that's not ready.
See?
Look, I know how the system works now. I just don't like to go to D for these things. Dasselhoff says, great interview. Thank you, man. It was a great interview. It's easy to do these interviews when you have somebody who's like so interesting to talk about. It's like, I just like let Jason do his thing. I can just sit here and sit back and relax. All right. So this is going to be a Quest 2 key for Eolia. And yeah, you can go play it right tonight if you want. Or
yeah,
Jason
exactly.
says keys. Yeah, after the show. Yeah, don't leave the show.
Yeah, right.
Nobody gets their keys until they leave the show.
Jason, can you help us with our wheel? Can you help us make it into UE5 and have it look as cool as that video?
I'll make it better.
Oh my God, tech!
Oh, is it savvy? No.
Techno glitch.
Nice. Techno glitch. Oh, it's been forever since Techno Glitch won anything. Technological glitch. Awesome. Congratulations, Tech. You probably won one of the best games that I've played this year for the Quest 2. So congratulations. And Bradley says, thank God. I think that means because it wasn't him. Bradley always seems to win these things. And he's like, because he's a creator, he gets all these games. So he's like, yeah, just give it to somebody else. No rerolls today. Absolutely. All right, let's do one more and give this amazing game to one more person.
Okay.
I love the Nintendo one.
Just me? Just me.
Just me. I don't know that one. It's just me.
It's just me.
Congratulations, just me. You just won yourself a key to Eolia. And thank you so much for donating these keys tonight. It was nice of you to give 4 lucky people a chance to play these 2, special games. And again, Ionia, it is a beautiful game. And if you have a PC and you're going to get in there on Steam, I put every new person that I can into this game just because it's so gorgeous. It's so good. Some of the later parts when you're doing certain things, you're like feeding these animals, and there's these I can't even. It just gets so good. D, it's gonna blow you away.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's so
Spoiler
good.
alert.
But again, Jason, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for staying so long. We really appreciate it. We really will do this again. I'm glad that you're a friend of the channel now, and you have open floor to come back here anytime you want.
Oh, thank you so much for having me again, and I can't wait to be back.
Absolutely. Take it easy. Have a great night. We'll talk soon.
Thanks for coming.
Take care.
That was so much fun. Literally, I could talk to Jason like this was like it was at PAX too, because we went to PAX and we met Jason at his booth and we were talking to him there about Eolia. But we went out like to the after parties every night, and he was there every night, and I would just sit there and talk to him for an hour about
AK as well. She's just terrific.
Yeah. AK who works in the team, who's been in chat, she was there as well, and she designed all the costumes for these games, and she's so smart.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to really talk too much about her, which I was remiss to do, and we'll have to do next time. But I talked to AK about how she designed all the costumes, and the costumes are amazing if you look at these games, and that's kind of the thing that you kind of overlook is is designing costumes for video games. People win awards for them in movies, but there's just as much that has to go into them in video games, and it was so good. Yeah, she did such a great job. And Babster says Jason's passion is infectious, and I can only imagine the game. He is. I mean, when I've had a very lucky opportunity to be able to talk to him a lot for the last, month or two, even after PAX. And the way he is during this interview is the way he is every time I meet with him. He always has a great smile on his face.
Super high energy, always
Yeah.
smiling,
Yeah.
always in a good mood. Like we saw him a lot in Seattle. And
Seriously.
he's just the greatest guy ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because he's in chat. The guy is awesome.
Why didn't you tell him this when he was here? Why do you gotta wait till he leaves?
I didn't want to make him blush, man. I didn't want to embarrass the man. Come on.
But seriously, that was so much fun. And D, that was good, right?
It was.
You're gonna do some Ionia?
Heck yeah.
Should we watch that
see
video
the turtle,
again?
man.
Should we watch that video again? Just like
Dee literally almost pissed herself, I swear. It was leading up to it, so she was getting all tense, and you could see she was getting all tense. And you knew
I
it was
moved
coming.
the mic away from me because I'm like, it just sounds like something's gonna jump. So I'm like,
oh yeah, it was too funny. But
no,
yeah, that was great. That was
traumatizing, dude. I'm traumatized.
Polish Hammer
was
says, Jason,
beautiful.
great interview. Yeah, everybody is just absolutely loving it in chat. And
oh, Jason, thank you. Jason just dropped a super chat of $10 into the chat and said, thanks.
Oh,
so, that's
heck
awesome,
yeah, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. That's awesome. And yeah, it was one of the best interviews I've ever done.
Yeah, that was cool.
Just hearing about everything like that and watching those trailers are amazing too. Fourth Wall Breakers is a great interview as well. Fabster is an awesome interview. What did Michelle B say?
Did you save the scream as a soundbite?
No, we should have.
Yeah, right. I should have.
Oh darn!
I'll just make one up. No one will know.
What?
Yeah.
No.
So we got a few we got a few topics to talk about it. We're getting we're already a little bit in here, but I do want to touch on a few topics. And Todd, I'm kind of going to let you talk a little bit about D-Link and AirBridge because we were both very interested about D-Link and AirBridge. And I will tell you this: I have very good Wi-Fi. I have a Wi-Fi 6 router. I have a very good router. It's a very expensive router. I did this because I wanted to be able to use AirLink, and I wanted to be able to make sure I can stream with AirLink and not have to use my cords. I was playing After the Fall this morning at 9 a.m.
You play After the Fall?
Hell yeah, bro.
I didn't know you played that game.
9 a.m. this morning. This is how freaking addicted I am. Wes messaged me and says, me and Michelle are gonna do a run. I'm like, get a little break in between meetings. Let's jump into some After the Fall. So 9 a.m. and I'm like, I don't want to hook everything up. I don't want to run all my wires. I'm not streaming. I just want to do it. I just want to get in. I want to put AirLink on and I'm going to be fine. I still got freaking issues, dude. I'm still getting lag. I still get some screen tearing every once in a while where the screen lags and I turn my head. I get black edges around the border every time I turn my head left or right. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough that where I'm like, well, I shouldn't have these issues. You know what I mean? So now I don't know if this is an issue with my Wi-Fi or what it is, but because again, I have good Wi-Fi. I have really good Wi-Fi. My router is right here in the room. I have a Wi-Fi 6 router. I have no idea if D-Link is even helping. It's not even for me. You know what I mean? I have no idea if it will help me or not.
It will help you. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, tell us about D-Link, Todd, because I know you were talking to them and you're going to try and get one to review.
Yeah, I'm talking to them because exactly. I want to see one. I want to play with it. I might have to buy it because it's D-Link, and who knows if they're going to send me one. But it creates a dedicated wireless network to your PC. No interference. No, like I have a very smart house. Everything in my house you can talk to. Every television, radio, light switch, lights, things on the outside of the house. I can tell my house to water the lawn. I can do anything I want in my house. So I have a ton of interference.
What do you think? You're better than me because you can tell your house to mow the lawn?
I just have a ton of interference because everything is on a Wi-Fi channel. So my router is right behind this green screen here, which you can't see, but it's right here, 10 feet away from me. And I play wirelessly AirLink to my computer, which is 10 feet over here. And I constantly have issues. When you hook up this dedicated wireless network, it's going to work like your mouse works. You don't get interference with a Wi-Fi mouse because it's the only thing on that signal. So it's just going to work. It's going to work way better. I don't know if it's $99 going to work.
Right.
That's honestly not that big of a price. I think it's fairly priced. $79.99 is the price I expected it to be. It's not going to help the guy that's using virtual desktop outside of his house.
Right.
but it will help the guy that's using AirLink in his basement. It'll work.
Yeah, we just shouldn't have at this point. I mean, we still have Airlink issues, which is kind of like baffling to me. Wes says I couldn't even get wired link to work at all the last time I tried. Really, you couldn't get wired link?
Oh wow.
Wow. Onikaze says, what router and where? You're asking me that or Todd? My router is right here, about 7 feet away from me, and I don't remember what it exactly is. It's a Ace. I think it's a ASICS.
I have the
Something like that.
Netgear Orbi network on Akazi. It's the 5G mesh network in my house. So we have like Wi-Fi 6 routers all over the house.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a great thing. Yeah, I have an Asus router. That's what I have. An Asus RTX86U is what I have. An Asus RTX86U. It's an expensive router. I mean, it's I think it's like $200 or something like that.
Alakazam says, do you need a Wi-Fi 6 router for the D-Link thing? No, that's the whole point, is you don't even need Wi-Fi in your house anymore. You'll plug this into your computer. Your headset will Wi-Fi connect to that D-Link dongle, and it'll be its own Wi-Fi network to your PC. So you don't need
right. So it's
Wi-Fi
actually not
in
going to
your
use.
house.
It's not going to use your Wi-Fi. It's not going to
No.
use your home Wi-Fi. It's going
Nope.
to basically link itself directly to the computer.
Right. So like to do updates and stuff, your computer will do all that. You won't need a Wi-Fi network. This is for PC VR titles. So the computer handles everything. This D-Link thing is strictly to create an isolated connection between your headset and the computer.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Bluebell says $99 on the store, Todd. I think Todd was saying he was thinking it was going to be $79.99 is what he meant, right? Yeah, he knows it's 99, but I think you were hoping or thinking it was going to be 79 because that's where you think the price should be.
Yeah, $79 is what I thought it would come out at, but $99 is not that far off. So
yeah,
you can tell they're looking for the sub 100 because no one likes to see the 3-digit number when they're buying shit. So
yeah, I mean, if you have issues, you know what I mean. Now, I still don't think I could stream with this thing. I don't know. Maybe I could. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, if I didn't have to use a link cable, it would be great. I probably wouldn't. But I just always end up doing it again because a lot of time I'm streaming. And if I'm going to stream, I can't have lag. I can't have that breakdown. I can't have any issues. So I ended up just linking with a link cable anyway. But I mean, damn, I have 48 Bobo batteries. I could play VR for 3 days if I wanted to straight.
That's the other thing.
It'd be nice to be able to do that and use it. And I end up not even ever using my Bobos because I'm always linked. It'd be nice to not have to do it. So, I mean, we're gonna try it. Todd's probably gonna get it. I'll probably get it. We'll tell you guys if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Because it's $100. It's not cheap, but
It does
that's
say Quest only, even on their website. But it's a Wi-Fi network, like a dedicated Wi-Fi network. I don't know what D-Link could do to make it not work with a Pico, for example.
Yeah,
I don't see how it's Quest.
Is it software bound at all? Like
it shouldn't be.
Do you need to download any? You might need to download a piece of software with it. Maybe that's why it's
Well, you'll definitely have to run software on your computer to run it for sure, because then you'll
Right.
set up the SSID for it and the password for it and all that shit.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Maybe it's software bound. That's why it locks it out of using it on any other
But from
other
a
headset.
Wi-Fi technical standpoint, like from one end to the
it
other,
should work.
Anything Wi-Fi should work. Like
Yeah.
if you connected a phone to it, it would connect. It's not gonna do anything, but it would connect. Whereas your Quest would. So
Brad says made for Meta, licensing goes burr.
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
I think that's
Karina
exactly
Stimson says, "What is the D-Link dongle called?" It's
so the
called the
D-Link VR
AirBridge.
AirBridge. Yeah.
D-Links is the name of the company, and the AirBridge Wi-Fi dongle is the name of the unit. But very interesting. This is going to help a lot of people. Think about anybody who doesn't have a great Wi-Fi signal in their house, or somebody who is away from their Wi-Fi router who has always had issues. This is going to help a lot of people, for sure. And we'll definitely try it out, and we'll let you guys know. 100%.
Drop a link just now to the store, so check it out.
So I did want to touch on this. So it's nice that we have Brad here in chat because he's been kind of saying this all along, and Upload did come out the other day, and David Heaney was talking about the Quest 3's the Quest 3 has been leaked out by Bradley, and some things are coming out now about the Quest 3, and they're talking about the GPU here, and David Heaney did a piece on it and Upload saying the Quest 3 GPU may be twice as powerful as the Quest 2 and the Pico 4, and Brad had touched on this when he sat down with myself and Virtual Strangers the other day, talking about the Qualcomm XR2 Snapdragon chip being a generation 2. So basically, the way Brad told us was, Qualcomm is not going to rename it the XR3 or 4 or 5. They're going to go with generation. It's going to be the XR2, but it's going to be a generation 2 XR2 chip. So yeah, I mean, so Brad was talking the other day that this is going to be a stronger chip. It's going to be better. So a lot of people were kind of down on the Quest 3, Todd, because they're saying it's not a big enough jump. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, but those are the people who haven't read the technical papers and haven't read the details. Like, just because it's still an XR2 chip doesn't mean it's the same XR2 chip at all. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they've had i7 processors in Windows computers, PCs for, I'm going to say 13 years. And the i7 from 13 years ago is not the same as an i7 from today, even though they're called the same thing.
Yeah,
Totally
exactly.
different.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Brad says Upload VR did their article after I did the dedicated video talking about it. And yeah, and absolutely. They dropped this video on the 5th, or this article on the 5th, which was, it was after even, we sat down and talked about it on Virtual Strangers. And that's kind of why I brought this up is, Brad has been talking about this for a while, that this was going to be the case. So I was a little surprised that people thought the Quest 3 was not a big enough jump from the Quest 2, because I think we are going to see quite a bit of a jump here, and I am looking forward to the Quest 3 more than a lot of people are. Like, a lot of people were kind of down on it, Todd. I mean, I
actually thought the Quest Pro was coming with the Gen 2 processor as well.
I think it is. I think it is. I think it is. It's going to be the Pico 4 that does not have the Gen 2. The Pico 4 is still using the regular. So I think you're going to see the Quest. If Brad's in chat, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Quest Pro will have the Gen 2 XR2 Snapdragon chip in it. So
and Pico 4 is only Gen 1. Well, I guess it's coming
it
out
is.
now, so yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah, I bring this up now just because, again, I find it funny that a lot of people were kind of just kind of down on the Quest 3 and thinking that it was going to be not a big enough upgrade, or not a big enough jump. And if you're talking twice as powerful as the current Quest 2, I think that's a pretty big jump when you're talking about a mobile headset chip.
Yeah.
Especially with everything else that they're putting inside of it. Now, you got to remember, all this stuff could change. This is all leaks. This is no official announcements. We don't know when we're going to see a Quest 3. It's very possible that they get halfway through this thing and switch directions, or change what they decide to do and go in a completely different direction. So I think we have to kind of wait and see. But for me, I think this is kind of good news. I'm looking forward to what the Quest 3 could be. And I think this is a significant enough jump. And, the fact that Qualcomm is partnering up with Meta now for another big contract is going to be a good deal. Brad says it's a marketing mishap. Quest Pro likely not with the full Gen 2. Okay.
Looks like Quest 1 or Quest 2 and Pico are the 2130p chip. Quest Pro will be the 2150p chip, and the Quest 3 will be the 2230.
Okay.
Which is the
this is why I have to stop talking about this stuff if Brad's not here. I just need to have him. Brad, do you want to come and join our show every week and help me with this stuff?
Related back to Intel processors. Everybody knows computer parts. It's the Quest 2 and Pico are like the i5 processor, where the Quest Pro will be the i7 processor. Both of them are 10th gen. If you want to,
right,
same family of processor. One's just better than the other one.
Yeah.
Whereas the Quest 3 will be a 12th gen i7 processor. So
yeah,
again,
I almost wish they would do what they would change. I was saying this to Brad on Sunday for Virtual Strangers, that I wish they would get away from this code that they're going to use, the SXR 2130. I wish they would do they would change it and have it be a different name. But
it's not just them. Every technology, every chip, they all use the same type of format for model numbers. It's just we generally don't give a shit about the other chips. It's just the big ones that we need to know about.
Yeah, I think Brad was talking about Sunday. He was kind of like comparing it to like USBs, right? USB,
3.0 and 3.1 and
exactly.
3.2 and...
Yeah. Yep. Brad says it's garbage naming.
Yeah, it totally is.
I know. It's like we
back
can't
in the
come up with anything
90s,
good.
Intel used to totally change the name of their processor. Everything was different. The Pentium Pro, the Pentium,
right?
They were all different. And then they came out with the stupid i3, i5, i7 thing, and it's been the same for the last 15 years.
Yep.
And these guys are doing the same thing. So,
but yeah, I just thought it was
more at the technical side, less at the name.
Yeah, it was just funny. The reason I brought it up because I find it interesting that I don't know. Maybe you guys weren't hearing the same thing I was. I was just several places I was looking and Reddit and some of the Facebook groups, especially even ours. People were kind of downing the Quest 3 a little bit, saying, they weren't interested, or it didn't look like it was going to be enough of an upgrade, or they didn't, they weren't impressed at all, and they're not looking forward to it. And I kind of am the opposite way. I really am. I hope that they may change. This may not be the iteration. They may skip the Quest 3, guys. It's very possible they could just. I mean, Meta's in like a little bit of a holding pattern right now. They just went through a whole bunch of layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So everything's everything's a little up in the air right now. Like, they could completely pivot and go, you know what? Quest 2 is still freaking great, man. Still great, still selling like crazy. How about we stay and we wait a year and then we move into something else? And this Quest 3 that we're seeing now is not the Quest 3 that we end up seeing. It could be a completely different Quest 3 that we don't see until 2024. Is that even possible?
Why not?
think it's possible.
Yeah.
Why not? You don't think they could sell the Quest 2 for another year after this? I think they're still gonna, even with the Quest 3, by the way.
Yeah, they're gonna have more competition, which is gonna affect sales, but I don't think it's gonna disappear. So
yeah. So we'll have to just wait and see. Meta Connect is going to be very interesting, and we are going to cover it, guys. We will. There's going to be 1 million people live, and you'll have a lot of places to consume it. But if you want to come consume it with us, or you have all your 5 favorite content creators on and go watch everybody. But we are going to do it. We'll do it live, and it's going to be very interesting to see, because there's going to be a lot of subtleties, and I like to read into what they don't say or how they say things more than even what they do say. So I'm looking very, very much forward to Meta Connect the next
5
Tuesday.
days, TikTok, and hopefully all of our answers are not answered, because you know how it works.
Yeah, right. Brett says, "Will Meta do nothing?" I guess it's possible, right? They do nothing.
Yeah, right.
Very interesting. Let's talk. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's 2 big product announcement YouTube events that we've covered, where my credit card is at the ready, burning a hole in my pocket, and absolutely nothing has happened.
You've spent enough, bro. Show everybody what you got in your hand.
Yeah,
you spent enough. Your wife is going to divorce you. I'm not kidding.
I had to get one, man.
Oh,
I bought a new
Brad's going to be so impressed with you now.
Brad, I bought a new toy.
You finally made it into the index world. Congratulations.
Took me forever.
It's pretty amazing, right? I mean,
it is.
The
I have
audio
an unboxing video coming, and I talked about the audio. And
how
everything.
Impressed were you with the audio, dude?
Crazy.
I mean, the audio blows you away. Even more than the visuals. And the visuals are amazing in the index. The audio blows me away with the Valve Index audio.
Yeah, no, totally different. I played into.
You finally made it. Brad respects you now.
I know. I see that.
Now, not before tonight.
No, because Brad was looking at the stupid Acer he's got in the background, going,
I know,
he's in the VR. Look at the Acer thing.
It's an antique. Are you kidding me? Come on.
It is an antique. That's one of the ones that it tells you what not to do in VR.
Yeah, right. Actually, I quite enjoyed it, but still, nothing like this. I played Into the Radius last night, PC version.
Oh, nice.
I thought I would just jump in and quickly whip through the tutorial and just run around. I played it for almost 2 hours.
Alakazam has a great question. He says, is the new Quest earphone, or is the new Quest, the Conquest earphones, the headphones that you can attach to your Quest 2 or some other head straps or headsets, are they as good as the Index audio? And while these are phenomenal, I still don't think they're as good as the Index audio. The Index
I
audio
don't
is
know.
phenomenal. They're
The
close.
Index audio, they're really close. I think the Conquest ones are more comfortable a little bit because they're padded. Like these ones, these really barely touch my head, mind you.
They're not supposed to. They should sit
Yeah.
over your. They should never actually touch your ears. They should kind of like sit right over your ears. That's why
Yeah.
they're so good too.
Have you
Is
seen
they
the
have
size of
such.
my head?
Well, that's true. You do have a big melon. He's got a huge head. Even in person, I'm like, holy crap, dude, really? I'm like, how do you keep that thing up?
He's like, oh my God, put your hat back on. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, the Conquest. We'll talk a little bit about the Conquest when we get through the news. I'll hit on it quickly, but they're phenomenal. They're really, really, really good. They're if they're not better than the Index, but they're either as good or maybe just a little bit less. But the Index is like top notch. I mean, the Index is the best audio in the business. You're not finding anything better, I don't think. But these are phenomenal. These are really, really good. It's the best audio I've heard on a standalone headset. Let's talk SideQuest very quickly. I just want to hit on this and say congratulations to SideQuest, or not, because there's a lot of people that don't like Google putting their hands in shit. Todd, are you excited about this? Let me just say, so SideQuest, there's an investment arm of Google that has helped. They've done a funding and they've raised $12 million for SideQuest, and to the point where you'll see one of Google's higher ups actually be on the board of SideQuest now. Is this good news for you, Todd? Bad news? Are you a fan of Google, or do you not want Google involved with SideQuest? And what do you think?
I think it's fantastic. Google's got boatloads of cash, and SideQuest is a ridiculously important part of our community. To be able to, well, especially now that we only have Quest headsets that are standalone, for them to have the ability to get apps from developers onto the headset without the jank of going through the Oculus Store red tape crap is amazing. Like we wouldn't be as far ahead right now in gaming if we didn't have SideQuest, and I totally believe that. So if Google's going to give them $12 million this year, who knows what they're going to give them next year? And SideQuest is just taken off. I think it's fantastic. With the new headsets that are coming to market, SideQuest is going to open up to maybe side load, and it's not just going to be Quest related content anymore. It could be side loading to the Pico, side loading to the Pimax Crystal. Who knows, right?
I do think now we are SideQuest ambassadors, guys, but I have no inside info on this. I do think that SideQuesting will be done on the Pico, by the way. And again, I have no knowledge of this through SideQuest in any way, because we've asked and they've said no comment as of right now. But in my opinion, I think you're definitely going to see side loading onto the Pico headset.
Yeah, it's to me, it's a smart business choice. There's millions of Pico headsets, and now that they're coming to North America eventually, it's just opening the doors wider and wider.
Yeah. So let me just read a little bit of this article here. The side-loading platform SideQuest raised $12 million in investments from Google Ventures as part of its Series A funding round. The amount brings the total raised to date by SideQuest to $15.65 million. Initially backed by Oculus co-founder Palmer Luckey and Boost VC in 2020, with $3 million added last year. The latest funding boosts SideQuest. At the same time, it may change the ongoing competitive dynamic. For those unaware, Google is behind the Android operating system that forms the basis of the system software running Meta's Quest headsets. As part of the investment, Google Ventures general partner MG Seigler will join SideQuest board. Yeah, I mean, I'm along the same lines as you. I think this is good news. Anytime you get investments in anything that has to do with virtual reality, I think it's a good thing. I mean, that Google thinks that investing in something like SideQuest, which has its hands firmly in virtual reality, I think it's a good thing for us. Whether you think Google is, great or not, or a good entity, or however you want, I think this will move them forward. I think a SideQuest will take on some different things now. I think SideQuest will morph into more than what it is today. I think we're going to see a lot of things coming from SideQuest. And they're not going anywhere for sure now. A lot of us thought SideQuest, after App Lab, a lot of us thought SideQuest will go away.
And Orla thought SideQuest was going away because they had to work with Meta in order for App Lab to work. And they thought, well, we're giving them all this information. They could just cut us out and we're done. And they didn't.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
It's a big deal, I think.
Yeah, so it is, and I'm very happy for Shane and Orla. I mean, they're very good people. We have had Orla on the show here. They're friends of the channel. Tatiana Disco VR is friends of the channel. We are, official sidekicks, the SideQuest official reviewers, and they've had some new people come in this week. Todd, you want to tell them who has officially joined the ranks as a sidekick?
Just pulling that up. Yes, we have just the new people are I don't want to give away too many people without Cass and Cherry are now
Cass and Cherry are now sidekicks. Hell yeah, man.
Steve Knows is now an
Steve
official sidekick.
Freaking knows, man.
That VR girl.
She's got an up and coming channel. I did not know a lot about her, but as soon as she joined, I went and checked her out.
I had to go check her out too. Yeah.
She does a lot of cool stuff, man. I'm go check out that VR girl because she's got some stuff going on there.
And of course, our girl VR Jasmine. She is
love me some Jasmine.
Yeah, she started calling me Uncle Todd. I'm not sure I like.
Well, you're old man, and
oh, Jazz.
Yep.
So I think we're up to 11 sidekicks now. I think something like that. 10.
Yeah, it's getting bigger,
cool.
and I think then we're not done. They're not done yet either. I think they're going to have another round, and I think I think we're definitely going to see more stuff coming from SideQuest. So congratulations, guys, and we're trying to see if we can get some either Shane or Orla or both or Tatiana. We'll try and get them in here and talk to them about a little bit about this. I think at some point soon, right, Todd?
You betcha. Yeah, I'd love to get him on the show and talk all things psychic.
Let's talk HTC.
Oh God.
Why do they do this shit? Why do they
talk about David Heaney's article about Quest 2?
No, because I thought about that. So I know we talked about that in our show prep, but here I went back and reread the article. If you look at it, look at the title of the article. He puts a comma in between. So it's actually two topics that are put in this. I don't like how they did it. Okay, we'll talk about this. Is Upload when we're talking about. So David Heaney, which I absolutely love. I have a huge geek crush on David Heaney. He's just the smartest dude. He wrote an article, and basically what it said was Quest Pro.
It says Quest 2 Steam VR usage drops, Pico 4 launch approaches.
So when you look at the article, it says Quest 2 usage drops on Steam. Pico 4 launch approaches. So it makes you think that he's saying in the article that Pico 4 launch approaching has affected Quest and made them drop their usage on Steam. So I started reading the article and I'm like, there's no mention of Pico in the article. It says nothing about that. So, how do you claim that in your article? Like, how do you get from point A to point B that Pico has any effect on Quest 2?
Title come from? Yeah.
So you have to go back. Now, I made a point of this today because I was going to freak out about it tonight. Okay. So I made a point to go in and I said, I'm going to read the article slowly and I'm going to go through it and make sure that his point is not lost on me and I'm not overreacting. And I catch the title again. Todd, read the exact title.
Yeah. The exact title is Quest 2 Steam VR usage drops. Pico 4 launch approaches. Yeah.
Pico 4 launch approaches. So basically,
and if you read the article now, it's just about Quest 2, and then there's one little paragraph at the bottom about Pico 4.
So this is what they do. I don't do these things, okay? You're better than this. You're better than this. Don't do that. You don't need to do that.
The scantily clad anime characters all over their advertising right now.
Well, I like that. No, I'm just kidding. But you don't. Here's my point. Well, that's because you're a horny old man, Uncle Todd.
You don't want to hear this shit.
But look, seriously, they don't need to do this. Don't do the Quest 2 loses ground in Steam. Pico launch approaches. Do write two separate articles if you need to do that. Don't put Pico launches approaches, and then they put a tiny blurb in the bottom of the article about the Pico launch approaching. The article had nothing to do with Pico and Quest, and there was no correlation between Quest numbers dropping, usage dropping on Steam, and the Pico launch. Don't do that, please. You're better. Be better. I love David Heaney. I'm so sorry. I said anything wrong about you, David. Please don't hate me.
Please don't hate me. One comment says, "What's wrong with anime?" Nothing. That's my point. Is it's just distracting. I can't read the article.
We were doing our show prep on Tuesday, and I was reading this article, and I was freaking out in show prep, and I'm like, I can't do. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to. I'm like,
I don't want to shit on David Heaney.
I'm like, why does this have to be David Heaney? Could it be anybody else there? And I wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, why does it have to be Heaney? Please don't be Heaney. And then I was like, and then I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just not going to talk about it. And then, everybody in there is like, you better talk about it. We'll bring it up. And I'm like, and then I read the thing and I'm like, all right. So let's get back to HTC. All right. Cause I am going to, here's the problem with HTC. Okay.
Here we go, people. Get ready.
They do this every time. Okay. They come out every time and they're like, HTC, we're the best. And we're going to show you a tiny ass little image of nothing. Okay. And we're going to tease you and make you look at it. And then they show you nothing and they go and they put a little blurb. Go small or go home. Clever, HTC. I see what you're doing there, HTC. You're so smart. You're so smart, HTC. And then they make it so dark and black that you can't see shit. It's basically a picture of nothing. They could have taken this picture from the underside of their fucking desk, for God's sakes. At least give you something that makes it look like it's a freaking headset, for God's sakes. You're teasing me with a picture of a black blob that looks like shit. And then what you do is people are lighting it up now. They're like they're making it lighter so you can see in there, and they're trying to draw it out,
Photoshop it, and edit it. Yeah.
And what is in there? What do they find? A quote that says "Nice try" with a thumbs up. What the hell are you doing, HTC? You're gonna tease and you're gonna do these things and you're gonna show this and you're gonna show that, and then you're gonna come out with the freaking headset and it's gonna be the biggest piece of shit that you've ever shown, like it always is. It's all garbage. It's gonna be another freaking Flow.
Oh, don't get me started on that. That's next. But
I mean, come on. You're gonna tease and you're gonna make a big deal about this and you're gonna show this. They're gonna build this up for weeks now. We're gonna see this.
Hear him from here.
Come on, I want HTC to do stuff right. I want HTC to be a player, but don't do this stuff. Don't do stupid stuff like this and show me, little tiny blurbs and things and say "nice try" and we're gonna be so cute. Either show the headset or don't show the headset.
And this is what happens when you zoom and light up the picture.
Oh, come on, man.
This little image of "nice try."
It's safe.
And then they're going to come out with a dumpy piece of crap headset that you can't use. It's no good. You can't do anything with it. Oh, man.
And in the same article, they talk about a new Vive Flow.
I know. I saw. I'm like, what crap? you just came out with a Vive Flow last year. You're going to show a new one? A new crappier Vive Flow that you can't do anything with that one either?
And this Vive Flow, it looks 3D printed.
HTC, please, man. You were a leader. You were a leader in this industry. You had the best headset for years. Your headset was better than the CV1. It was a better headset. They're still being used in places. You haven't made a good headset since then. Yeah, the Flow. The Flow. I got one on my shelf over there. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Collecting dust. Yeah.
The only time HTC has done anything right is when they went to Valve and said, help us make a fucking headset because we can't. And Valve made the goddamn headset.
And Valve did a great job.
Valve did a fantastic job. Don't tell me, who said that? Spry Guy is right. HTC has Viveport Infinity. That's the only thing that HTC has done great in the last few years. Viveport Infinity is a freaking great thing.
And I'm so happy that they're keeping it going. Like, without a headset, you think they would just give up on that.
But their hardware and their marketing strategy and the way they do things is so flawed and so crazy. And they continue to do these things and make them blow up. And they come out with garbage headsets that nobody wants. And nobody wants to play, that are way too expensive for what they are. And then they classify them. This is our business headset. These are business headsets. You can pay $1,000 for this headset. That's worth $400 that nobody's going to buy. Yeah, it's enterprise. Get out of here, HTC. Freaking take a hard pass on you again.
Take off, eh?
Yeah, Todd, tell him. Take off, eh?
Take off, hoser.
Take off, hoser. Jesus Christ, dude.
Man, my stomach's starting to hurt me now.
It's okay. Come on, ready?
Man, come on.
Woosah.
Look, I want HTC to be good. I want HTC to be good. If this is a new standalone headset, if it is, God, please. All right. Please, God. Please, HTC.
Your sweet 8-pound, 6-ounce baby.
Help me out, HTC. Help me out, okay? Please get your shit together and make a standalone headset that's worth a shit. Please. Please don't be another fucking Vive Flow that nobody wants. Don't be a $7,000 Vive Focus that nobody's gonna play. Please be
Yeah.
something good. If you come out with some kind of piece of crap that nobody's ever gonna want to play, I'm done with HTC forever.
I'm
Thank you for
canceling my
listening.
revive thing.
My revive thing.
But they're touting this as go small or go home. So they're touting this as a small, tiny headset. Could this be a standalone headset? Could we be
Oh,
seeing
it's going to
something
be
that
another
could...
Flow. It's going to be like a Rokid with smaller.
I don't know, maybe.
I hope I'm wrong, but
I don't know. HTC, love them, love to hate them.
Love to hate them. Let's give something away.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's give. What do we got to give away? What are we doing?
We got Song in the Smoke and Runner left.
We have an HTC. We have a Vive Flow to give away.
Hit yours. Surprise.
Fantastic. I don't know. I'm rooting for Vive Flow or Vive Flow. I'm rooting for Vive or an HTC. Come out with something good. Make it a Vive standalone headset, and I'll sing your praises if it's great. I promise you. All right, which one are we giving away first?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get the wheel up. You pick.
Oh, the guys is talking about the wands.
We'll leave
I
Runner
didn't even talk about the Vive wands. Those garbage things that have no thumbsticks. You know,
They're still selling them.
They're still selling the Vive wand. They still haven't. They haven't updated their controller in 7 years, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
7 years.
Okay, we're gonna give away Song in the Smoke. This is a Steam key, so if you don't have Steam, give it to someone who does.
There you go. I like it.
We ain't spinning again.
Bluebell says, D and Todd, we need a MASH Rants end of the year montage video.
Oh, there will be.
Yeah.
Do you think we have enough of them now to do a montage video?
Probably.
I don't know.
Maybe
like
not
5
for
minutes
every
long, so.
single episode where it's like, your intros.
Oh my God. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, you are.
Thank God Jason Parks isn't here. I would have embarrassed myself in front of Jason. Boom, boom. Congratulations, Flickers, on winning Song in the Smoke. Another great game. Another great game. It was Michelle B who said in chat when Jason was talking about going to the Peruvian jungle. She's like, he lived the
Green Hell.
The Green Hell. The Green Hell game.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Onikazi brings up the freaking Cosmos. The whole idea of the Cosmos was garbage, by the way, that whole thing. But yeah, their control they had potential with the Vive's Cosmos' controllers to be great. They ended up being big ass pieces of crap too. I'm telling you, everything they've put out has just not. I don't even know how they're still in business. I know how they're still in business. They're still selling the Vive, the Vive Pro. That's how. And everything is still. So when I was in Miami, I went out with the Character Bank developers, the guys who made Ruins Magus, and they invited me to go do this location-based VR thing, which was amazing. You know, it was a full arena mode. You know, you're in this huge space, you can run everywhere, and you have you haptic guns, and you have like these backpacks that you're not wired to anything. It's amazing. It was so cool. But what kind of headset were they using? They were using Vive Pros.
Yeah.
Still, even today, and it is comfortable. It's a great headset still. It is, but the visuals are just not there anymore. But okay, let's move on from there. I want to kind of start to wrap up things here a little bit. I do want to say one more thing. The Quest store, Todd, is finally after 28 years now, after 5 or 6 years now. When did the original Quest come out? 5 years now? 4 years?
now,
5 years? 5 years later, you can get gift cards now. You can actually buy a gift card, or you're going to be able to buy a gift card, and you're going to be able to actually physically give somebody a gift card. So if you want to give somebody a gift card for Christmas, you can do that and give them the physical card instead of having to go buy them one game. You can give them $50 on a gift card or $100 or whatever, and then go buy multiple games.
Overdue.
Yeah, seriously, how is this? I don't understand what was in the way for this for Meta, and I don't know enough about it to talk about it. But I'll just say this: I don't know what was in the way, but why did it take you 5 years to do this? I mean, this just makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you want to put gift cards out there that make things easy for people to pass them on?
You can get Roblox gift cards, for God's sakes. Why can't I get a Quest gift card?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But instead of just complaining about it, I'll say I'm happy it's here. It's super good for people to be able to do these things. It's great for Meta. They're going to sell more. It's great for developers. They'll sell more games. Make it easy for people to gift and give these games, and you know, and they'll buy more games, right? If people are getting, you know, 50, 100, $25 gift cards for Christmas, guess what? Those gift cards are going to turn into games, which is great for developers, which is what we all want. So yeah,
Hear,
I mean,
hear.
yeah, exactly. So I think it's a great thing. Great thing. Okay, that will wrap up our news for the day. But we do have an announcement, D. And
Bum, bum, bum. I don't know how to sound
it's not a super happy announcement from D, and I'm a little sad, I'll say. And I know.
Don't cry,
So-
don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
D, do you want me to say it, or do you want to tell everybody?
I might need some help. I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Dee's role with us is going to stay the same, but her time on the show is going to change a little bit. And you know, it's an unfortunate thing, and we love Dee. We want her to be here, and she wants to be here. But Dee has a different job in her company, and timing wise, I know, how dare you go out and further your career and
Dude,
make yourself better.
Well, no, if you want to start paying me like
Well,
a
no.
wage,
No.
I'd be more than happy.
No.
See,
No.
that's why D's got to do what D's got to do.
But unfortunately, so Dee is not leaving, but the amount of time that she will be able to be with us on the show is going to change. So Dee will be with us.
now.
Yeah, for now. I mean, things will change, you know, eventually again too. But for this time period, Dee's hours have changed, so she'll actually be working during our show. But here's what she has graciously offered to do to make sure that the community gets the Dee that they need. Yeah, you know who else likes getting the Dee they need? Dee will be taking her lunch break. She has an hour lunch break every day. She'll be taking it on Thursdays. She'll be taking it at 9 p.m. So she will join us for the first hour of our show on air. So she'll be here with us on air for the first hour of every show, and then after that hour is up, she does have to go to work, but she is not on the phones anymore. She is doing chat. And that means that she can still be part of our chat, and she can still help run the wheel. So she is not going anywhere, but except she's going to leave the screen. So for the first hour, she'll be here with us on the screen. After that hour is over, she'll get off the screen. She'll jump onto her job, but she'll still be in chat with all you amazing people. You can still talk to Dee. You can still message her. She'll still be putting messages in to chat, saying hi to everybody. And like I said, she'll still help with the wheel, and she'll make sure everything's good there. We'll just miss her, you know, for the end of the show, you know, physically in this space with us. So, not, you know, it's a little sad, but
Don't
it's,
cry,
you know,
don't cry,
you're
don't
still
cry, don't
here.
cry, don't
You're still
cry.
here, which is important.
Yeah, the role's just changing. It's not like she's
and it
abandoning
was
you.
actually I know, and I seriously like this group and this channel, and
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
You can do it.
okay, hold on one. I know. Okay, hold on one. Everybody.
Oof.
Okay, so this group means so much to me that like I seriously almost considered like passing it up for this round, but Dee got a promotion at her job, so I'm moving up to the chat. So no longer on the phones, but
That's a huge deal, right? Like people on the phone are dicks.
Well,
they are
Exactly.
assholes, dude. But the thing
trust me,
is,
I
you
know.
know, I've had some of the best conversations with people on the phones too. But
That's cool.
you know, but right now the hours are Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 12 midnight. So I asked if they could accommodate Thursdays, but they couldn't. So I'm gonna take my lunch.
How dare those
Spend it
motherfuckers?
with-
This fucking Progressive. I'm taking all my fucking insurance away from Progressive. How dare
Now
they fuck
everybody
with
knows
my
I work for
show?
Progressive.
Screwing with my show. How dare they? How dare? What do they think? They're some kind of
Dude,
company or something?
now
What-
Flo is
what-
gonna freaking kick my
Flo.
ass, dude.
You know what I would do to Flo?
Nothing at all.
Flo. I'm just kidding, Flo. Hey,
whoa, whoa,
I'll
whoa.
rail on it. I'll rail on it on HTC all day long. I'm not fucking with Flo, dude. Flo, I was just kidding. I'm just kidding, Flo. Just kidding.
Yeah. But it's
but-
only
yeah.
temporary until the next shift bid. So then once that comes around,
Yeah.
first couple of months of next year, I'll be able to hopefully get some.
Exactly. And D won't be again, guys, remember too, we are still doing Reality Bites, and that show is not going away, and D will be with us for that show. It's just we're on a bit of a hiatus because things were changing with a little bit between with GT, and we had a lot going on the last 2 months. So I know a lot of people have been asking me about Reality Bites. We've talked to GT. He's still very excited about doing Reality Bites. It's not going anywhere. We're trying to get at least one episode in October. And then November is going to be, we'll at least try and get one in November. It's just going to be a little bit iffy because we have a lot of traveling that we're doing. But we're going to get back to it. You'll have a show hopefully in October for sure of Reality Bites, and D will be there for that one for sure. On Saturdays, you know what I mean? And and she's still going to be here in chat, guys. She'll still be chatting. You'll see her in chat a whole bunch more. That's all. And then we still have a good hour with you, D.
Yeah.
You know who likes to spend an hour with D? He does. Every Thursday he wants to spend an hour with D. Onikaza said, "Oh, Reality Bites is still a thing. I thought you might have supplanted by the Crewcast." And no, Reality Bites is still a thing, and we're going to continue to do it on Saturdays.
We have some interesting plans, perhaps in the works for Reality Bites, to maybe bring in other things and people, and I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. We may have some.
So D gets a new job and she's not filled in on any of this anymore.
You didn't come to the last meeting.
Yeah, where were you?
Dude, you didn't tell me about it.
You missed the last Reality Bites meeting? It was like it was yesterday.
Dude, you didn't tell me, dude. They're cutting me out, guys. They're trying to get me out.
No.
Are you kidding? Never. My wife's in chat. She says, "We love you, D," and she'd kick my ass if I'd cut you out of the show.
Yeah, see?
See?
Everybody loves the D.
Don't worry.
Everybody. So yeah, that was D's news, and we've been sitting on it for a little bit, and it's approaching. So what do we got? D? A couple more weeks, and then it'll kick into effect.
I start training on the 17th, so that's when I'm officially off the phones. But that week of training, I'll be there for the week of the 17th, starting that last week. Little less D.
Cool.
Bluebell says that's it. No more Patreon. No, we need
No,
to double.
Guys,
we need to double our patrons so we can pay D. That's what we need.
That's right.
We don't need anybody to go, wait, we need to get more patrons.
That's right.
It's too funny. Yeah, it's gonna.
The show's over. Yeah, no, he couldn't do it by herself, dude.
We're a team, yo.
Yeah, right.
We're a team. But we'll move on. It'll be good. It'll be just a little bit different. And D will still be here for the first hour of the show, which is a lot of where we do a lot of our fun stuff, and it'll really be good. And again, she'll still be in chat with everybody, so she's not going anywhere. So we'll end this on a positive note and just say we love you, D, and we understand what you're doing, what you got to do to take care of you, and it's a good thing. And I love you, D. You're good.
Ah, diddly ho, diddly.
Okay. Oh yeah, don't forget the runner key. Yeah, we got to give away the runner key, dude.
Too late.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. But I want to announce next Thursday, the 13th of October, we have a special guest coming in.
We have a guest host coming in, not just a guest.
Not an interview, not a just come sit here for half an hour. He's coming in for the entire show. It's gonna be a blast. Mateo 311 will be in studio for the whole day. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's somebody super cool. Say Mateo, man. Mateo, Mateo had a lot of fun here when he was here, and he expressed an interest to come and do a couple of things with us. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Freaking Guido.
Guido says $10. Here is a D salary.
Salary.
That's $10.
Heck yeah, man. Hey, I would love to be able to do it. If we keep growing and we keep doing the things right that I think we're doing, things are
the
getting
ultimate goal, right?
Yeah, things are getting very good for us. We're doing things that we need to do to grow this channel, and we appreciate all you people helping us. And if you want to continue to see us do what we'll be able to do, and help us out, share it out, become a patron, share it out to anybody else. If you can't become a patron, share it out, tell somebody else, have them come see us. We're doing as best we can to really bring it to the next level, and we're working on it. And if I could ever start paying D to do stamps and to be here at the show, nothing would make me happier. Trust me. I would absolutely love it.
I'm gonna have to find a different way, because you know how many conversations on the phone I bring up, oh, I gotta do this, VR stuff. Oh, you have a show, you do a podcast? Yeah,
That's
Q2C,
it.
YouTube.
Come see us.
I gotta figure out how to do that in chat now.
Hell yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Get everybody in here. Just tell everybody you can, get them all in here and get them to subscribe. And we have some big stuff coming too, guys, for subscribers. So we're gonna have some giveaways. We are on a push for 5,000. We want to break 5,000 by the end of the year. That's a big number, right? It's a lot.
Big.
We're sitting at like 33 something, 3320 or something like that, 3310.
Yeah,
or almost 3320. We want to hit 5,000 by the end of the year, but we're gonna push for it. How we're gonna push for it? We're gonna give away a B Haptics vest, number one. We're going to do a Gleam giveaway for a B Haptics vest. We're going to do a Gleam giveaway for a B Haptics vest. And probably, I don't want to say anything exactly right now. We're going to have probably about 10 to 12 other items, big items that we're going to be in here that are going to be just as big as the Haptics vest. This is going to be a huge giveaway. We are pushing for 5,000. We want to be at 5,000 by the end of the year. And and hopefully we're even hoping we can do a headset or two in there as well, which we're very close on. So that's our goal. We're going to have a whole bunch of cool stuff. So come and hang with us, and it's going to be big. And again, we'll get D back soon, guys. She'll be back.
I'm not.
How about a
going
4090?
anywhere,
We could
but-
maybe give away a 4090. I'll call him, make some calls. Maybe we can do a
I'll see.
4090. That'd be cool. Hey, Alex VR just stopped in, and what's going on, man? Congratulate everybody in the chat. Do me a favor. I love Alex VR. He is a great friend. I've come over the last year to call him one of my best friends. And let's congratulate Alex VR and let him know that we're all thinking about him on his new job with
Yes.
Contact
CI.
Contact CI.
Yeah.
The next step for Alex, and this is going to be amazing. He deserves this. This guy is amazing, and I've been talking to him about what he's doing and this thing since way back at like GDC, and he deserves exactly everything he's getting right now, and he's worked hard
the
for
other
it.
day. Alex and haptics is like peanut butter and jelly. They
Hell yeah,
just
man.
belong together. So I'm very excited to see where this is going to go.
Yep, hell yeah, I'm proud of him. He's doing awesome. He's gonna do big things with them, and I can't wait to see what he does. So yeah, congratulations, Alex. Kicking ass, definitely kicking ass. We're all moving and shaking in this world, this VR world, and there's a lot going on. So awesome. All right, guys, that's probably going to end up doing this for the show. We remember next Tuesday for MetaConnect. What time does MetaConnect start, Todd? You know, Eastern time?
10 a.m. Pacific.
So 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll probably go on about a half hour before that. So figure 12:30 Eastern time. Come join us, Q2C VR Gamer. Come join us for the MetaConnect. We're going to be doing it live. D probably won't be here. She'll be working, I think, right?
Maybe my internet will have to go out.
Oh,
for a
there we
little
go.
bit.
We might have a D sighting.
I don't
At least
know.
be in chat.
Absolutely.
It's going to be like 3 hour long, 2 hour long.
Yeah, it's going to be a while because we're going to
Yeah.
have we're going to do the giveaway. I know, guys. Sorry, I keep forgetting the giveaway of Runner. We'll do that before we go. But yeah, come join us Tuesday for the MetaConnect. We'll get firsthand reactions. Who knows? If it goes crazy, you might hear a kick-ass rant from me. I don't know. Might be railing my ass off on Meta. We'll see. Or I might be like freaking out, man. I might be freaking out and pulling my credit card out of my wallet like Todd does.
Could happen.
All right, let's give this runner key away before we forget, because this times I think we've actually done this and we've forgotten to give away something on the show at the end. This is for Runner, man. This is a great game. If you haven't seen my video, I dropped a video today on Runner. So did about 400 other people, but mine's really, really good because I had such fun.
Go
in it.
check it out.
You can tell I had fun too, by the way, because
Can't
I
see
just
with
like the
my
game a lot.
glasses off. Echo in?
Bill Hines says I had him at rant. Yeah.
Echo in.
Going to the future. Hell yeah, man. So Echo into the future, just hit me up. This is one I need to gift to you. So just hit me up. You can get me personally on this one. mashdaddycool@gmail.com. Message me at mashdaddycool@gmail.com, and I will personally gift you this key for Runner. Really, really good. I'm really loving this game. I'm thinking about, if I can't get in after the fall right now, which I'm getting in after the fall right now, I'll get into Runner, but I'm getting in after the fall. I'm going to take a quick break so I can go to the bathroom, and then I'm getting in after the fall for sure. I gotta keep going, D. I can't help it.
You're addicted.
I am addicted. I can't stop.
You're
It is
addicted, yo.
fun. If I didn't have to work tomorrow, I'd...
You need a 12-step program.
I do need a 12-step program. All right, guys, that has been a great show tonight. We really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, you guys, there's a lot of people still here. Please hit the thumbs up button. We really appreciate it. If you do that, it's a simple thing. Click the thumbs up. Helps the videos a lot. We really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you do so. And tell somebody who is not. Go tell somebody. Tell anybody. Come see us. We got big things happening here. Have them come see us, and we're gonna take over the world. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna take over the world, but we're gonna do big. We got cool stuff. We got cool stuff. Come see us. All right, guys. We appreciate it. For my good friend Todd, right over there, and my great friend D, right over there. Don't cry, D. It's gonna be okay.
I'm done. I'm done now.
You're all done.
So
All right.
okay. I think so.
Peace, guys. We'll see you soon.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.